Okay, guys, back again. So exciting. We have our gunslinger with us. Yay!
Yay!
But we're
Yay.
missing our dragonborn. So,
No.
no.
Oh.
Neuraxis will be Jaegered today by our gunslinger, which I love that so much. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of, recap like we usually do. And then I have a question for all of you. We've discussed this in chat. We're going to do a little, it is meta, but I think it's important right now in these early stages to do a little character check-in. So to recap really quickly, you guys have traversed through the tunnels under the Linen Guild's warrens after you brought back the oh-so-flayed body of Elon the Halfling. And a favor for a favor, Mirabella sent off her guide, Vaeri, with you all into the tunnels. She knows them best, after all. As you were getting ready to go down into those tunnels, you heard bells and boots, and Vaeri kind of shuttled you guys into the tunnels quickly, and Tirax told you, I think they're being raided. He took off to go help Mirabella. He has not rejoined your party yet. You went through the tunnels, you found a pixie farm, you fought an assassin vine, and you made your way up through the rest of the tunnels, coming to the basement of Artagan's lodge with the help of a pixie named Bella. She then sent you forward. You managed to make camp. Nothing really exciting in camp happened. And then when you walked up to the main floor, the screen that you guys are on right now and that we're seeing in the video, this is what you saw. It's like this forest has completely usurped what was left of the manor house that it was transported into. And then you made a deal with the ferryman to get across the river to this large pixie tree. And Neuraxis was the one who gave up something very valuable to him. He gave up his draconian sword in order to gain passage. And we ended the last game on the shores of this tree. And Hazel, that pebble you were given by Bella is glowing in your hand. So as you guys are staring up at this tree, and you're it's overwhelming. Everything that around you, it shouldn't exist, right? It's defying physics and what you know of the material plane, but this is also part of the Feywild. And you've been through a lot recently, so I wanted to do this little character check-in. I will start with Neuraxis. He gave me a couple of sentences for me to read out to you guys. So he said, Neuraxis is sad about giving away the sword, but he's too proud to say anything because he's a dragonborn. He's very interested in the Feywild and all the new things that he can maybe test his martial prowess on to gain more favors from her. Not as enthralled by the appearance of the place because all the splendor is just reminding him of the beautiful things that were destroyed in Draconia. Or too long didn't read, sad boy hiding sadness because, quote, there's work to be done. So that's Neuraxis. I know. Let's go down the line just here in Roll20. We can see the icon. So let's start with Ulrin. Where's Ulrin's head at right now?
So... I'd like to think that I've been looking for a reason to live for quite a while. Ever since I left Craghammer, I didn't believe that I belonged anywhere anymore, so I think that recently with what the group has done, that I'm starting to find hope and perhaps a place where I can, finally be a part of somewhere. And I think that recently with talking to the Raven Queen and the Allhammer so frequently, that maybe perhaps there's more to this life that I know and that I'm playing a bigger part of something. And I'm pretty awestruck by speaking with my deity so often, and that's about it.
Okay.
So just kind of TLDR, just awestruck and hoping to find a place where I belong.
Okay. What's Torkel thinking?
At first, I thought I would do this with Tokyo's voice, but since there is stuff that I'm going to say that Torkel isn't quite ready to say out loud or admit, even to himself to a degree. So I'm gonna do this in my own voice.
Okay.
Basically, Torkel is in a weird space right now, weird ed space, where he's still kind of living the adventuring trail. It's been really fun putting bullets between the eyes of snake creatures and retrieving old artifacts. Like for him, it was like living in a bard's tale in some way. But the more happened, the more weird and how can I put this? Like out of this world things happen, shall we say? When we started talking about gods that are not supposed to exist and all that stuff, he started feeling a little bit out of his depth. And now they're in the Feywild, and he's like, "What the fuck? This is no place for a dwarf." And looking even at the group, to him, Ulrin is hopefully he has the Allhammer's favor. He's kind of in awe of that. And of course, he doesn't know anything about Ulrin's own feeling of awe about this. To him, it's like we said last time. He's like dwarf Jesus. Alicia, well, she's not like almighty or anything, but she's a wizard, and every archmage begins as a humble wizard. Azel, she seems to have this unending well of energy and enthusiasm. Nothing seems to really phase her, and she has this amazing, incredible hidden power within her. When she turns into a cat and just shreds everything to bits with lightning, that's like, whoa. And the Rexus, he seems to Torkel, he seems like some sort of stoic veteran with strange magic backing him up. And Torkel himself, he feels like he's just a smith who gets sick once every 2 months and found out that guns are much more satisfying to shoot than crossbows. But he's just that, so he's like, yeah, this is getting a bit rough. That's basically where he's at right now.
Okay. Alicia, what's going on there in that wizard head?
Alicia, like, she's a bit scared because, like, this is things she's only read about. She's, like, never experienced anything like this. But the kind of scared feeling is mostly overshadowed by pure excitement. Because, again, this is things she's read about. She now gets to see it with her own eyes, like the Feywild, and also, like, she's never fought anything properly before. So that's also a completely new experience. And then she's also a bit scared because she's never really had people around her most of the time. She's only really had like one person that she could trust at a time in her life, and now she has 4 people around her constantly that care and protect her. And she's kind of scared because that means that she has to care and protect for them, and she's not quite sure how to do that. So she's scared and excited and just wants to figure out where this all leads. And it's an adventure, and she's never done or been on anything like this, and it's all she ever dreamed about as a kid. So that's where she's at right now.
Okay. And last but not least, Hazel?
Like, the 2 primary feelings that Hazel is feeling right now are annoyance and shame at herself.
Annoyance.
It's like kind of like angry annoyance, that kind of stuff. It's like you wouldn't tell, like, you could not tell by her. She has her usual cheerful demeanor. She would never let those things show. But she feels like she should have been the one to give something to the ferryman to carry them across. Like, she feels like if she would have been braver and sacrifice part of her own memories, then Araxis wouldn't have to go through that, and she should have been the one. Because basically she's really hard on herself because she feels like she needs a reason to justify her own existence or to justify her right to leave the wilderness behind and walk amongst people once again, because she knows that there is always the potential that she could lose control and hurt innocence, and she feels like somehow she always needs to find a reason so it can be like, no, it's okay that I'm here and I don't have to go back to the woods. And that is even a bit intensified because she had a conversation with Ulrin in a while back, and where he told her that he regards this group as family at this point. And that gave her a lot to think about, because family is like a word or a concept that carries a lot of meaning for her because of what happened in her past and with her own family. And it's like this mixed feeling of it made her happy that he said it in a strange way, but also kind of like with family comes this sense a bit of responsibility, and that she doesn't feel, and now she's even more anxious to try to earn that, and that she now has to like work even harder to protect them and make sure they're okay. She's also like very in awe of this group, and she sees them all as people with amazing potential and to do great things in life, and that she has to give her best to keep them all safe, because she feels like that's also what a blood hunter's duty is. And she is not yet a full-fledged blood hunter because she has never been officially taken in by the order, accepted by them, but she strives to live up to that ideal that she has in her head. And yeah, and that's why she sees this failure to give up her own memories of her past family, which she was considering, but she, in the last moment, she hesitated too long, and then Araxis stepped forth, and she felt like, yeah, she should have been the one to make that sacrifice, not Araxis. And that's why she's angry at herself and feels even more driven to give it her best and keep everyone safe. Yeah, and I think that's the main things that go for her head right now.
Okay. It's a lot of stuff, running through everyone's heads. Some of it similar, some of it not. Not that, of course, you know that, but it's an interesting bit of insight for all of you. Of course, remember that that's meta, so keep that in mind.
Totally
but,
meta.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's with you guys being, fairly new to each other, and you're still finding your way through this really strange land, and things are going to be interesting from here on out. So there's adventure to be had, and part of it is right in front of you, because as you're standing on the banks looking at this tree, Alicia and I needed to roll the other one, and Ulrin, you suddenly feel something smack you in the head, like a bug or something just hit you. It doesn't hurt necessarily, but you're just like, where is that coming from? And then Torkel and Hazel and Neuraxis get pelted. And then you're all getting pelted, and as you look up, you hear jeers. And there are pixies hanging out of this tree, throwing seeds and nuts and bits of fruit at you. And they're jeering and laughing, and I want all of you to make perception checks.
Freaking pixies. Quick, give them hair.
I try. 14.
10.
Okay, first.
15.
15.
Ooh,
12. Okay.
not great. Let me roll for Neuraxis. Oh, he's proficient too. Cool.
Oh. All right.
Okay, I guess he has always roll with advantage thing going on.
Yeah, I think
So
he does.
that would be a 10.
Okay. So Ulrin and Hazel, you see floating down from this break in the tree a handful of pixie lights that you're now familiar with. And they're getting closer and closer and closer to you. And Hazel, that pebble in your hand that Bella gave you is starting to get warmer and warmer. It's almost a little too warm. And yeah.
I was going to say I was going to just wave at them and greet them in Sylvan.
Oh, okay. Definitely. As these pixies draw closer, you see that the one in front is a slightly larger than average male pixie. He has on orange robes, and his little green light on his back is blinking on and off. And he points at the pebble and commands the rest of his group. There are about 10 pixies altogether forward. And it's enough for 2 pixies to each get really close to all of you. And this leader lands in front of you. It's kind of hovering right over top of the pebble in your hand, Hazel. And he looks at the pebble and he looks at you. And in Sylvan, he says, "That's Bella's."
Yep. Bella was the name of the pixie who gave it to me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she gave it to us. Hello.
We haven't seen Bella in... And he looks back at the rest of the group, and they're all shrugging. You guys, as the rest of you have these pixies hovering in front of your faces, they look a little trashed. As in,
Pixies look trashed.
They're a little ragged. You notice a few of them have blood stains on their hands. And a couple of them can't seem to steady themselves in the air too well. They're like drunk flying. But the one in front of you, Hazel, is definitely very steady on you. And he's not getting an answer from the rest of them, so he just shrugs and he points a little spear at you and he says, "Come with us. The king and queen want to speak to you."
Oh, okay. I turn
Can I
around.
insight check these pixies? I mean, I don't really know what they're saying, so I don't know if this is at a disadvantage or...
It would be, yeah, because you don't understand the language, so you have no...
I mean, they look sketch. I feel like I need to... I mean, they're just like dirty pixies. They're like hippies, so you gotta insight check the hippies.
Okay, we got our tip for the game already. Inside check the APs.
I got an 8.
An 8. You have probably never seen a pixie in your life. And
Except for those
the
farmers.
Yeah, you've encountered. And a drunk pixie is just like... That doesn't
Hilarious.
seem right. Yeah. The one off to your left shoulder is like kind of poking its little... These spears are roughly the size of like barbecue skewers. They're not that big, right? And it's like poking your armor and it makes a ping sound and it squeaks when it hears the ping and then it flies back and it does it again. Like there's just not a lot of freaking common sense here. But it's laughing madly and it's a little creepy to see this. But yeah, you're not really sure about the leader. He's definitely more steady than the rest of them, but past that,
All right.
hard to tell. Yeah. So, Hazel, what are you
I'm just
gonna
going
do?
to. I'm just going to turn around to everyone and say, they want to take us to their king and queen.
That's
Okay,
mildly scary.
no reaction. All right. Yeah. And can I inside check the pixie too?
Yes.
I don't know. I want to maintain. Does it seem angry at us or like?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
17.
He doesn't seem angry. He seems in command. A little exasperated by his comrades. Like there's a little eye rolling going on as he sees them kind of not be able to fly straight. Better dressed, not dirty, and not bloodstained.
Okay.
But insistent on you following him.
Okay. I say to the group, I think this guy is really serious that we come with them, but he doesn't seem like such a bad person. So maybe we should just see what their king and queen has said. I've never been to like a royal court. Is there like some kind of protocol that I should watch for? Like,
There's probably protocol, but fuck if I know about what fairies consider proper protocol with kings and queens.
Elijah, have you read anything about that in your books?
No, not really. Have I?
You can roll for it.
We roll for it. History or
I would say history.
history?
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
Mm.
So you know that the Fey, right? The Fey courts and the proper Feywild most definitely have protocol. Given what you have been told about these pixies from both the ferrymen and the farm pixies you met in the tunnels, if they follow Fey protocol, at one point maybe they did, but they've abandoned it, and you've never heard of anything like that. And you do also recall certain stories about pixies tend to hide when something larger comes around, and these are like pelting you with seeds. So
So they're not following protocol, okay.
no.
They do seem a bit strange.
Yeah.
The pixie in the orange robes is going to poke at you again, Hazel, and say, "Come, come."
Well, okay. I look at everyone to see if like it's okay. Should we go?
We don't have any choice, I think, so...
Yeah.
Okay. Lead the way, mister.
And he takes off. The rest of the pixies stagger back into formation, kind of. One of them gets a little caught in Torkel's beard and kind of pulls on it a little bit before it flies loose and starts to waver, and it's really bad.
I resist the urge to slap it away.
Okay.
What the fuck? Something's got in my beard. This is weird.
Drunk pixie beard something, I don't know.
Yeah.
So they start to fly up in formation, and you actually, they're not flying the same, because they came straight down. They're actually leading you up a ramp that you had kind of not seen before, around the right side of the tree, and they're leading you up a small ramp. It is tight. You will have to go single file. And you walk and you're getting pelted and you're getting yelled at, and Hazel, the things they're yelling in Sylvan are really not proper at all. And
I choose not to translate.
Okay, they're pretty crass. They're pretty bad. And you go up and you spiral up and up again until you meet this pixie village in the middle of this tree. And they lead you past pixie homes, but some of them are a little bit larger than pixies. And now you're all realizing that it's not just pixies, there are sprites here as well. So a little bit larger, they have longer wings. You can see them easier from a distance. And they're just drunk and jeering and yelling at you and saying, like, "Oh, the king and queen are gonna get you." Like you're being catcalled. It's really, really awful. And as you advance, following this one steady pixie, he's apparently the only sober one in this entire court, he takes you into the middle of the heart of this tree. And what you see before you is kind of incredible.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is a throne made out of the heart of the tree. There are candles and candle stubs everywhere, small fairy lights. And sitting at the base of this throne is a male pixie and a female sprite.
Ooh.
This pixie who was leading you up through the tree, his fellows disperse. You see a couple of them dart off to go dive basically headfirst into open bottles of, you assume, probably liquor. And then this one pixie very solemnly leads you forward right up to the throne, and as you get closer, you do see the king and queen. They're very finely dressed, but their clothes are dirty. Their hands and teeth are bloody from what you assume the desiccated squirrel that's on a platter off to the left.
No, the squirrel.
Squirrel!
And this pixie turns back around and he looks at all of you, nods once. Hazel, he's gonna snatch the pebble from your hand. Do you give it?
What was it that Bella said to me about the pebble? That it would give us access to this tree here?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll let it take it because, I mean, we got in, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see him, he's gonna heft it just a little bit, and then he flies it right over to the king and queen, drops it at their feet, bows very deeply. It's a very regal, courtly bow, and announces to the court at large, and you guys are now seeing pixies herd into the parts of this tree around you. They're sitting on branches, and they're carving out pieces of bark for chairs, and it's like you have an audience in the middle of this court. And he says, "I, Tidal, present to you the strangers from somewhere else." He kind of fumbles it for a second. They bring back Bella's Pebble, and he holds it over his head. They bring back Bella's Pebble. For surely they did not come of this through fighting. So I guess she gave it to them? And he flies off to the side and just waits. And there's silence. They're not jeering at you anymore. There are some very drunk pixies around you. Like, you can tell they can't even keep themselves upright. But no one's saying anything.
Are we supposed to do something?
I have no idea.
Should we like bow or something? I've read that in a book once.
I'm actually gonna bow as best as a dwarf can bow. But I do have good dex, so probably do it right.
I join in.
Maybe not right, but at least gracefully.
Yeah, I'll join them too, if everybody else is gonna bow.
Okay.
And Naraxus is gonna do it too, because, makes sense.
Okay. You do that, and the king and queen almost jump off their perches. They're perched on either arm of this throne that's clearly too large for them.
Yeah.
And they fly over to you, and you get a really good look at them now. They've clearly been eating that squirrel and didn't bother cleaning up afterwards. The female sprite is dark-haired. She has a braid that kind of dangles down in front of her. Her crown, which is made out of ivy and some kind of flower, is slightly crooked. Her feet are bare, and her wings are this beautiful, luminous green. They're gorgeous. The Pixie King is dressed very similarly, very fine, whatever accounts for, fairy or pixie velvet, just very fine vestments. But a little ragged on the bottom. He has short auburn hair, and he has only a little branch crown straight on the top of his head, and they're looking at you. And then finally the queen says, "We were told there were strangers. Why would you willingly walk into our court?"
We were invited here by someone.
Yes.
By someone named Artagan. He wants to meet us.
There's a little look that passes between the king and the queen. He's not here.
Ew.
He allowed us passage. There's confusion now, and you start to hear little pixie and sprite whispers. Nothing you can make out for definite, but there's some chatter going on in the cheap seats, basically. And the queen looks back at all of you, and she's speaking common. And she says, "He allowed us entry here, but he does not visit. He can't leave the Feywild."
Do you have any way into the Feywild from here?
The king looks at you, Alicia, and perks up at this. "Yes, I do. You want to go in the Feywild, do you?"
Yes, I do.
"You want to go in the Feywild? It's dangerous there."
Well, I mean, he did invite us, and yeah.
It would be very rude if we didn't visit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of rudeness, we're very sorry for interrupting your feast.
They both look back at the squirrel and shrug. "Ugh. We catch more every day. There's plenty. We keep them in cages." And the king's like, "Do you want to see the squirrel cages?"
No, thank you.
"You want in the Feywild." And the queen's kind of patting him on the shoulder like, "Okay, crazy, sit down." There's something a little off about him. He's got this manic look on his face where she's deadly calm and he's a little something wrong there.
Yeah.
"You going into the Feywild, into the Feywild. And you start hearing off in the distance, into the Feywild. They're starting to all say this. Into the Feywild, into the Feywild. And the queen says, my king and I do not willingly let others into our personal portal.
Understandable.
We can bargain, if you would like. If you have something of value we'd be interested in. And the king goes, no, not gems, not feathers, don't want those. He's starting to scratch at his arm a little bit. No, you know what we do? We know what we do. We make them put on a show.
Oh no.
And you start hearing the pixies go, a show. It's been so long since we've had a show.
I mean, I can play the flute a little bit. Not
Good.
very well, but...
Flute is good. Music is good. He starts hovering in front of you, Hazel. Do you dance too? Do you dance?
I guess I take out my flute and play a little cheery tune to the Maniac Pixie King.
Make a performance check.
Oh god,
Oh,
this is
boy.
I was gonna ask if Hazel knows how to read sheet music. We do have flute sheet music from the creepy house manor.
we do?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We do. I have them.
Ooh.
Okay. If I'm proficient with a flute, which I am, then I get my proficiency bonus, right? Which is good
Yes.
because performance is -1.
Oh
god.
That charisma, though.
Do it. Oh no, that's not good.
Oh.
5.
Okay. All right. I shouldn't be laughing, but this is like really funny. You start to play and you squeak on a note very early on, and the king covers his hands and starts yelling, no, not fairy music, need fairy music, why are you not playing fairy music, awful, and all of the pixies start to scream.
I'm sorry, I don't really know fairy music.
Hold on, I gotta roll something. Okay. The king, all of a sudden, the little light on his back that was orange turns a fiery red.
Oh fuck.
And the sprite queen sees this and gives you all a look and starts to intercede him, but he is going to come over to you, Hazel, and he is going to attack you with his spear.
What?
Okay.
Oh, I
That
can't do
is an
anything.
18 to hit.
Yeah, that does it.
Okay.
Am I within 5 feet of Hazel?
You're probably all lined up, so...
All right. Can I use my reaction to like impose my shield in between them?
Sure. What does that do?
It gives him disadvantage. It's just like I can use my reaction to impose
Yeah,
disadvantage.
then that's an 8, so he misses.
I love that.
He's had a little bit too much to drink, and he just whiffs it and totally misses, and he's growling now, and you see his teeth are elongated and they're bloody. And the Sprite Queen is now like, I don't think bargaining is the answer.
Stories. Telling a story, that's performance, right?
Yeah, but I just rolled a natural 20,
Okay.
and all of a sudden,
That's
you
not
guys
correct.
are in a line, and all of a sudden, you feel like a static electricity energy close up around you,
Oh boy.
and you turn around, and you realize you are in a cage.
Yay.
And the king leers at all of you, and he says, "A show it is then. You will fight the Merid!" And all of the pixies and the sprites start cheering, and even the Sprite Queen looks a little happy at this. And they all start clapping and singing, "The Merid, the Merid, the Merid, the Merid." And the cage lifts up and starts to float back out the way you came. What are you guys doing at this point?
I'm preparing a spell.
Okay.
At this point, I'm gonna lead over and say quietly to Hazel, "It really wasn't that bad, you know."
Oh, thank you. But I really should train more. I'm sorry. And I put the flute away. But yeah.
Okay.
He said,
Yeah.
I whisper back to Torkel, but the king does seem like kind of a dick.
Yes.
And then I turn into a tiger.
This cage continues to float backwards. Hazel, you see Hazel, and you've seen it before, go from halfling to tiger in an instant, and she's pacing and growling. There's not a lot of room in this cage. And the cage is floating back, and you see all of the pixies and sprites following it. So the entire court has emptied out, and it continues to float back and continues to float back. Is anybody doing anything as it moves into a new area?
I pull out my gun.
I'm just preparing my burning hand spell.
Okay.
In case.
You do have time to prepare an action. As the cage moves back, and the scenery changes, and you eventually land out of the tree into a pit that was on the behind the tree. And when you land,
Nerexa's gonna take out his axe too.
Okay. And the cage drops you on the ground. It has not released you yet, but you now are on the ground, and you see before you a broken bridge between some bits of stone and boulders, and you see a chained woman, but she's made out of pure light and water. And she sees all of you, and she yells out, no, I don't want to do this. Please don't make me do this. And beside her are two strange-looking dogs that are growling in your direction.
Can I insight check her when, like, that she says that?
You have a few seconds to do that, and then we are going to go into initiative. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody,
And I'm just,
anybody
like,
who wants to do that can.
I've been ready.
Yeah, when it's a
my
checker.
shield and
Okay.
my
Yeah, me too.
so.
And I'm gonna change the spell from burning
Me
hands to
too.
firebolt.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Me treat.
19.
Okay, yep. Everybody.
No.
21.
7.
15. Okay.
15.
All right. And did you want to roll for Neuraxis?
I'm looking. Yeah, it has proficiency with that too.
All right.
And that's an 11.
Okay. So Hazel.
Oh, sorry. Mine's 24. I added wrong.
Okay.
Ooh.
Holy moly. All right. It was high enough anyways, but she seems genuinely distraught. It's hard to get facial features on something where her skin seems to be moving from solid to fluid and back again, but she's wringing her hands. And she seems very, very despondent at this idea that she might have to. And as you look around, there are skeletons in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems very genuinely upset about the idea that she'd have to kill someone again.
But the dogs are crawling.
The dogs are growling, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And she is chained. There are two chains, one going north, one going south off of her. You can't see exactly where they're anchored to, but they seem to be latched into either the ground or a rock or something.
And who got this insight? Who had enough?
That was Hazel.
I did.
15 wasn't enough?
No.
Okay.
This is
So
not a
only
creature
Hazel
you've ever
knows.
seen before, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to, with the few seconds I still have left, I want to turn to a group and say, I think she really doesn't want to fight us. Maybe we could try to break free the chains. I think she really means us no harm.
Okay. The cage, as you say this, the pixies are all jeering and yelling at you, and the king and queen release the cage, and then this area you're in, suddenly a wall grows from where you had been dropped, and there is no conceivable way back out. And the pixies are all looking down at you from a high up, from above this pit. And I need you all to roll initiative.
Yay, initiative.
Ooh, that's horrible. 7.
4.
Wow. Good luck, Torkel. Go!
I got a 9.
this.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, turns are going in. There we go. Okay. So get your turns in there if you can. Hopefully you can see it.
There, that was right. What? It doesn't want me to change.
Oh no, is it being weird?
It doesn't want me to change it there.
Oh, I think if we try to change it at the same time, it's going to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no. Alright.
Is this good now?
And 6 for Neuraxis.
Okay.
Alright.
Alrighty. Alright. The cage drops. You all have readied actions that you will need to act on in turn. And actually, the blink dogs are going to go ahead and go first.
They're gonna blink.
They're going to blink. Yep. So, this one is going to come down here and hold its action. This one's going to come down here and do the same thing. Torkel, what are you doing?
Alright, you want a show, we'll give you a show. And I aim for one of the chains.
Okay.
Now I assume this is going to be difficult to hit because it's just a chain.
And you're shooting with range, so yes.
Well, of course I'm shooting with range.
Yeah, so...
How much range? It's not that far, is it?
No. I mean, you're fine. You're gonna be fine
Yeah.
with your gun. But you are gonna have to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what I expected. So I'm gonna spend a grit to cancel that out.
Okay. Straight roll.
Yep. Boink. Oh, the
no.
dice are so
Oh.
close.
Oh, okay. No, that doesn't hit. All right.
Yeah,
So
I do have a second attack, right?
you do.
With a grit again. There we go.
That will hit. Which one are you aiming at?
Doesn't really matter. Let's say that
Okay.
the one that goes up,
Okay.
I guess. Oh, and I need to mark off those ammo too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. And what was the damage?
Damage. Oh, come on.
4. Okay.
I went and rolled a 1.
Ah. Alrighty. So 4. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you take a second shot after the first one misses, Torkel, and you do see a piece of the chain spark on impact, and there looks to be a link that is weaker now at this point. But
Okay.
yeah, not enough to break the chain though. Okay, are you gonna
And
move?
just to make my intentions clear, I call over to the whatever creature that is. I was aiming for that.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay, good. Are you gonna move?
Just so it doesn't think I'm aiming for its head or
Sure.
her head or whatever.
Moving or you staying put?
Oh, I'm staying right there. Actually,
Okay.
I'm gonna move a little bit forward with my shield raise, trying to look non-threatening, but also I want to get in the way in case they want to those dogs want to charge someone or anything.
Okay. All right.
Putting up a
and-
shield wall.
End of Torkel's turn. It looks like Ulrin is up.
Yeah, come do the shield wall.
So
Nerexus would be so proud of us.
Aw.
I will going to move up next to Torkel, and I'll raise my shield.
Yes.
And as for my action, let me check range real quick. Not close enough. No.
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 I guess in that case, I'll just use Sacred Flame
Okay.
on the blink dog that's running at us.
Yep.
Ah, poor Dogo.
So it's a dex save.
Dex save. Okay. 16.
Okay, so he only takes 7 radiant damage.
7. Okay. Okay. You reach out with Sacred Flame, and it singes a little bit of the fur, the long tufted fur coming off of his ears, and he yelps and dances back just a bit, and then squares up again, growling at you even louder now.
All right.
All
That's
right.
fine.
That's it. Okay. Hazel, in cat form. So let me
in cat
actually,
form?
let me actually replace you. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm just going to try to take. I'm going to take up my short bow and I'm going to try and shoot at the same part of the chain at which Torkel shot.
In cat form?
I
Oh.
can. You can still use your weapons because it's like it's a werecat form, so she still can stand on 2 legs and like shoot.
Yeah.
I still
Like,
have
That's awesome.
I still have opposable forms.
You're a Hemingway tiger cat, yeah.
Yeah. Matt actually clarified that in the latest update because some people were confused about that. Okay, that's a 15 plus a 10, 20. Oh, disadvantage, sorry.
Yeah, with advantage.
Ooh. Yikes, 14.
On the chain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that just misses.
Ah.
Unfortunately, yeah. So you shoot a crossbow bolt and it goes just enough wide. There's a little bit of a tide that comes up and down around the one chain, and it the water just kind of snatches it at the last minute.
Yeah. I hope I said I used my bow because then I get a second attack.
You did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
Then I'll try to shoot again. Okay, 21.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. Damage. 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Same chain that Torkel was aiming at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify. Okay. Yeah, the chink in the armor, so to speak, that Torkel made, you now have widened that, and that link is now almost completely broken, and you do see the chain start to sag just a little bit.
Wait. Can I somehow use my movement to like? I don't want to be. Well, I'll. Did I shoot on the lower chain or the upper chain?
The upper chain is the one he shot at. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Then I'll move up a bit here.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Raxus is up now.
Well, he's gonna move forward a bit, and he's knowing him, he would probably start attacking over us,
Okay.
I guess. Or would he actually go through us?
I mean, knowing him, he'd want to be front and center, so...
Yeah, probably. But we're doing shield wall, he'd be so proud of us. Okay, he's gonna move past us, and
Okay.
he's gonna probably swing his axe at the Dogo,
Okay.
is what I think.
All right.
Let's see. Oh boy, yes, so many attacks.
I know.
I don't know which one is which. Okay, oh, right, I see. The adamantine great axe, that's probably the one he just got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with this.
And I think it's like his Pact of the Blade too. So
Yeah. Okay, so that would be a 17 to hit.
17. Yeah, 17 definitely hits.
Okay. And that would be a 7 damage.
Okay. So he kind of breaks your shield wall for just long enough to bust through the two dwarves. Axe in the air, and he brings it down on the blink dog, and you see it sink into its side, and it yelps and growls. It's an awful sound, because it does just sound like a dog in pain. It's a terrible noise. And he pulls it back, and there's black blood that just spews forth. Yeah, it's hurt now. It's
I
definitely
feel so
hurt.
bad because I didn't want to attack the doggos. But I mean, hostilities have been declared, and I'm pretty sure Naraxas would take that as a attack the doggo signal.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Can he do anything else? I think he only has one attack. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
Yeah. He also has Hex, so I don't know if you'd want to Hex them.
Oh, right, he does
Bonus
have
action,
Hex.
yeah.
Well, maybe next turn.
Yeah.
okay.
Or you could do it now. I mean, you could Hex it now, and then it's ready for next turn.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a bonus action anyway, so you
Yeah.
could first X and then attack and whatever.
Okay. All right. End of Naraxis's turn. Alicia, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm gonna cast a firebolt at the chain where the others have been hitting it.
Okay.
Ooh, melt what's left.
Nice.
20 to hit.
Natural?
No, not natural. It's
Oh,
a
okay. I got
unnatural
excited there for a
20.
second.
no, it's not natural. It's a 12.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely hits. So go ahead and roll the damage.
6 fire damage.
It's vulnerable to fire. So
It is.
Yeah.
that
Huh.
breaks that chain, and you see this chain kind of scatter off and get carried into the current and start to slowly disappear down the river. And the Mayrid looks at you, Alicia, and she clasps her hands together. Please, please, get me out of here.
And then I'm gonna, as my bonus action, I'll cast Expeditious Retreat, which I can't pronounce.
Okay?
It's a bonus action to cast.
Yeah.
So,
And then it's ready for next turn, right?
yeah. So I can, next turn, I can use my bonus action to dash.
Nice. Okay. Are you staying put there, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
For this turn, I'm staying here.
All right. The Mayrid, at this point, and she's last in the order, and she looks at all of you frantically, and she says, I'm so sorry that I have to do this. And she pushes her hands out, and water begins to swell from either side of her, that river you see in the middle, where her chains were anchored. And I need... nope, it hits all of you. I need all of you, including the blink dogs, to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw as this tidal wave comes at you.
Who
Holy
here is-
shit.
Desolation know who here has the worst constitution.
Well, it might be me,
Not me.
but
Yeah.
I am proficient, so it
I'm
compensates a little
If
bit.
someone is not, would Alicia know who to help? Is the question. I can help one.
Yeah, from being in battle, you would probably have a decent guess, but you have 3 seconds to make a decision.
Okay, let's do Torkel. You're gonna roll a 15.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Okay.
I like that. So that would put me at 16.
Yeah.
14.
And Naraxas, he's getting a 15.
Okay. So let me go down the line here.
I'm gonna roll just for fun, just to see what I would have got.
Okay. Sure. Oh, wow. Yeah,
It's
12.
not too bad, but I'll take that 15 for
Ooh,
sure.
Okay, so let's
I
go
mean,
down
it
the
was-
line.
It was predicted after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Naraxis? Did he make one yet?
He got a
They make-
15.
15. Okay. So all
His rolls are easy to see because they're me, but with 2 rolls.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I missed
You
that.
could
I'm
change
sorry.
that
Gotcha.
as the as thing on your chat. You can
Yeah, but I'm
switch.
gonna leave it that way, so that way we can
Yeah.
see the difference between the two.
So Ulrin, Alicia, actually, you all saved.
Ooh.
So you do not get knocked prone, but you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as
What
this
about the
wave
dodos?
comes at you. One dog saved, the other one did not. and it has been knocked prone. So the one in front of you has been knocked prone. We'll just put a little marker on him for that.
So it's just bludgeoning damage?
It is
So
just bludgeoning damage.
Okay,
yep.
then I have resistance.
Okay.
So
2, right? So
Yeah.
do your math as according. But yeah, you all saved. That's awesome. She looks despondent about doing this. You actually kind of hear her gasp as she sees all of you still standing. And then she, with one chain broken, the other one does still tether her. She is going to move forward as far as she can go. I'm going to move this just so that you guys can kind of see that she is still anchored. Just to get the idea. That's as far as she can get. And then, let me see here for her. That was a lair action. For her action. Yep, okay, so the dog that's prone, so he auto-fails this. Neuraxis and Torkel, you guys need to make dexterity saves.
Oh boy. So Neuraxis. And me.
Okay. So Neuraxis was the first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's gonna be a 9 and
Yeah.
Torkel with a 16.
Neuraxis fails, you save. Neuraxis takes 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and he is pushed away 20 feet and knocked prone.
Holy shit.
This blast of water
did you
leads
say
your
9?
hands. Yeah, 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nine.
I know. You will take half, so 4.
Okay.
Neuraxis is pushed away, yep, to the edge of the map, basically. Just put him on the edge of the map, that's fine. And he is prone.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is the end of her turn. Yep. And then we are back at the top of the order. This dog that was prone is going to use half of its movement to get up. And then it is going to rush at you, Torkel.
Okay.
And try to bite you. That is I doubt that's going to hit. That's a 14.
Yeah, he needs a 20.
Woohoo! Okay. So he bites and
We have +1 to AC this battle, by the way.
Yep, don't
if
forget.
people have forgotten.
Wait, what?
From
I
the
think
pixies.
because we have the pixies.
Oh, we have... Right.
Yeah, don't forget your AC. Thank you.
So I have 21.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he still
Yeah,
misses. He misses
That's
even
why I'm
worse.
shield walling.
Trying to bite you, and he just kind of bounces. You raise your shield just in enough time. He kind of almost bounces off the shield. It's not a fun sound. It's this flesh hitting metal. It's kind of ugly.
Boing.
He is. Let me see if his teleport recharges, and it does.
Oh.
So he is going to bamf out of existence and appear. Yep, he's going to appear back here.
Oh.
All right, that is his
Bad
turn.
dog,
The
bad
other
dog.
Let's see if his recharges, and it does. He's gonna go here, and he is going to hold there. All right, that's their turn. Torkel, what are you doing?
I'm gonna call out to the water-like creature thing. If we break the other chain, you're gonna stop attacking, yes?
She does have a moment to respond. She says, I have to be freed. I'm compelled to attack. I have to be freed.
To be what? You're cutting off.
She says, I'm compelled to attack. I have to be freed.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm gonna take another shot at the chain.
Okay. One chain left.
Disadvantage again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna spend my last crit because I feel this is important.
Okay.
And a boom.
Oh!
Oh, yeah!
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Roll your damage. Holy.
Well, that's gonna be 15 on the chain.
That's 15 times 2, though.
No.
No?
No, I
It's
think
15
roll 20
total.
just
Oh, it
Yeah.
just auto did it?
roll 20 rolls twice instead of doubling.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled a 10 on the first die plus 3, and then I rolled a 2.
I see. Okay, very good. All right, so, yep, we will... Woo, yeah. You take a chunk out of where it's anchored, and the chain starts to sag, and she kind of claps her hands and is looking very anxious now.
Okay, I'm gonna take my second shot, though
Okay.
this time I'm gonna have disadvantage because I'm out of grid. Unless you got another predicted eye roll. No? Okay.
I think he was talking to you, Alicia.
Oh no, sorry. I
That's cool.
have, but
Believe-
I don't think it would help you. So
Yeah, believe
have-
the dice. Yeah, 12.
12. No,
12.
I don't think so.
Not quite. Nope, not
No.
quite. So you take that second shot and you just can't. The water kind of rushes up again and you just can't get a good.
I kind of make a little bit of a wince.
yeah.
All right.
And I yeah.
Staying put.
Well, seeing as they can blink, moving around is not gonna change much of anything. So yeah, I'm gonna stay put
Stay put. Okay. All right.
in case the other one doesn't blink. You know.
Other dwarf bro, what are you doing?
So how damaged is that chain? Like, can I
A
tell
lot.
from here?
Yeah, I
like-
critted it.
It's
So, yeah.
pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll use Wait, let me see. Hey, I'll Sacred Flame the chain.
Okay.
And try and get like where he shot it to like fully break there.
Okay.
So
It's a chain. So,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have a dex save. It doesn't do anything.
so
Yeah.
then it takes 14 radiant damage.
Holy shit!
Holy shit. That's enough. The chain breaks with a spark of divine light, and you see the
Nice.
Mayrid launch up into the air and spin around, and all of a sudden, the dogs are dead on the ground.
Oh wow!
She has shot
thanks.
water at them and just drowned, like basically dry drowned them. They're done.
Oh god.
And I call out, "How's that for a show?"
She comes back down. We're going to stay in initiative for right now, but you don't have to act quite yet. And she comes back down. She floats over the bodies and comes over to all of you. And she says, "Stay here. I have vengeance to wreak."
Uh-oh.
And she
Oh no.
flies off. And you
I-
see the pixies are gone.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh well.
So what
Oh.
are you all doing? Because she's gone in a tidal wave of water that just kind of like splashes you in the face. It doesn't hurt you. And she is out of the pit now. And from above, you can just barely hear wave after wave crashing. And you hear yelling. Hazel, you hear yelling in Sylvan. But down here, the dogs are dead. The water is slowed to a trickle. What are you all doing?
Is the wall still up that
The
prevented
wall
Yeah.
is gone.
I check my gun, check my powder, make sure it's not all wet or anything,
Okay.
and I reload
Okay.
while muttering about fucking slavers get what they deserve. They weren't very nice anyway.
Okay.
That really was not nice.
can I see if either chain is like still floating or like near the water or anything like that?
One has definitely been carried off into the water. The other one that you destroyed is there, still in the ground. You would have to like, kind of wade through the water to get to it because it's kind of down here.
Okay, and all of that down there is water, or is it just that
It's
river?
It's water. That river has now slowed to a trickle, so you could wade to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to swim. You'd be all right.
Can I see from here if they look like enchanted chains or anything, or?
You'd have to get up on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I climb down and
Yeah.
start making my way down there?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. It
Is
comes
it-
up to like mid-waist. At
Okay.
this point, it's not super deep.
So can I make it all the way there now, or would it take like a couple? Would it like take a while?
I mean, it would take you a couple of rounds. If you want to just push forward to get to it, you guys are going to start to hear more screaming. You hear a thunderclap
Ooh.
and lightning, and then what sounds like just a torrential downpour of water.
They're
And
so
then
fucked.
the water dies down, and the screams start to dissipate, and it's silent. Right as that silence comes over the area, Ulrin, you can get up to the chain and take a look at it. If you want to see if it's magical, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
7.
Okay. It's a chain, and it's made out of metal, and
that much is sure.
Yay!
it's heavy. It's definitely got it's got heft to it. That if you took it, you might find use for it. And you can always look at it later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just pull
It's
it
in
and.
3 pieces. The area you shot at it, there's only 2 links of what was 4 left, and then there are the 2 longer pieces.
Okay.
As you're doing this, you hear a rush of water, and the Mayrid comes back down. She's got a more solid form to her now,
Ooh.
and she looks like a woman in a very fine white dress, whose form just shifts ever so slightly as she stands before you, and she bows very deeply, and she says, "My rescuers. My name is Yama."
Hello.
Hello.
Well, nice to meet you under better circumstances.
I am genuinely sorry about that.
Don't worry about it.
Did I hurt
We've-
anyone too severely?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Naraxis is probably like stretching and working out the. He's got hurt a little bit more than the rest of us.
Okay.
But yeah, he's fine. He's stoic. He's Naraxis.
She smiles at all of you and she says, "My captors are dead."
Yeah, about that. We were gonna ask them to let us in the Feywild. Can you maybe help with that?
I can.
Good.
At her side, she puts her hand to her hip and you see a bag materialize. And she says, I owe you. I have a place where we can rest and you can heal your wounds and you will be safe, but we do have to go into the Feywild to do it. I don't
Well, we're going there anyway, so that will be perfect.
I don't have
Right.
all of my powers, but I do have this. And she pulls out of the bag a small mirror.
Ooh.
And she
But
says, "This was one of the keys that the Queen's handmaidens use to get in and out of the Feywild. We will use it to go to my pool." Is that all right with everyone?
Yes, but I think we're missing one person. Shouldn't T-Rex be with us right now?
Oh yeah.
Well,
What
did he say did he say he was coming?
What exactly did T-Rex say again he wanted us to do in here, to be honest? I think he wanted us to find out why the tree is here and why it's weird. Is that what he said? I was kind
Oh,
of pissed
yeah,
at the guy back
that.
then, so I might not have paid that much attention. Plus, I was really tired from eating all that sugar, so...
Oh yeah, the tree thing. Yes.
And keep in mind, you do have an invitation from Artagan.
Oh yeah, we know
Yeah,
that.
that's the thing.
That is the way I did not remember what T-Rex wanted here.
Yeah.
T-Rex, I think, wanted to find Silvanus.
Oh yeah, there was that thing. Well, we can ask all that to Artagan once we get
Yeah.
there. Because I think the
We're gonna do
invitation,
that.
we get it at the same time as the other things were
Yeah, we
learned.
can ask Artagan about the Vogon and Silvanus.
I mean, we can ask her too,
and Gaia's Sash.
but she seems more like a water person than a tree person.
Yeah. Oh, I can ask her something then. Have you ever heard the name Vogon? I
There's
ask
a
her.
contemplative look that passes over her face. He existed, but I don't remember what happened to him. I know him, but I don't. She stops for a second. I'm not sure. Maybe if we go back through the Feywild, my memory will return. When I was captured and brought here, I lost a lot of my abilities.
How long have you
will be
been
one.
here?
Oh, I don't know. It's been
Right.
some time. I've clearly, and she looks at
this
all the
year.
bones.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt any of you.
I can believe none of them thought about freeing you. But it's probably best we'll let you get back home, and yeah,
Yeah.
we seem to have business there as well, so no reason to linger around, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Now look
I'm sure
around
we'll
at the
find our
others.
answers there.
Yes.
Okay. She will
I
lead
also
you.
turn
Oh, sorry.
back.
Yeah.
Into my halfling form.
Okay.
Not that I'm eager to get into the Feywild, but the sooner we go, the sooner you get better, and the sooner we can move on with our business. So
She nods at you and says, "Thank you. We can go now." And she will lead you out of the pit. Anyone who you were brought down in a magic cage, so she will boost everyone up essentially on like a water jet.
woo!
Yeah, you get a little drenched, but it's kind of fun. And then she floats up behind you, and
Torkel doesn't like it.
and past the pit, further into the forest, you do see a glimmer, and she leads you toward it, and there's a ripple in the air, and she pulls the mirror out, and she says, "You have to step through quickly, so once I do this, you need to be ready."
Okay.
Do we see all the dead pixies?
That's the thing. The
Or have they
very
been washed
first
out?
thing you were met with was the smell of blood and the sight of hundreds of dead pixies and sprites just all over the ground, and everything is still dripping wet.
Oh
Yeah, we
Just
might have
total
bad news for
carnage.
the other pixies. Then again, they were worried about the bad pixies, so I guess that's taken care of.
dear. Yeah. We maybe Artagan could also tell us why the pixies went kind of cuckoo.
That too.
Okay. She holds the mirror out, and that ripple in the air shimmers, and a portal opens, and she dashes through.
Yes, we're following.
Everyone's going?
I'm running.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
pulled through.
Just right through. Got it. And just
Oh.
as the last... Oh, yeah. What?
Have there been 10 minutes since the battle? Because if not, Alicia's running fast.
That's right,
yeah.
This little gnome's got, like, sprint legs, man. She just busts right through. It's not been 10 minutes. Yeah, it's only been about
tiny
5.
gnome legs, like, going super fast.
Because I can do
Like
50 feet in
cartoon-like.
6 seconds now.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh.
I just needed to clarify that.
That's great. So you guys all bust, like, Alicia just, like, kind of busts past all of you and almost gets to Yama. And you're like, bye. See you later.
Wow. I didn't know Alicia could run that fast.
And as you enter, for the first time, the Feywild proper, what you see before you is absolutely stunning.
Oh.
And
Holy crap.
Yama
Holy
has lost her water form completely.
Oh.
And you see a woman with long red hair and a white dress rush up
Oh.
to this group of vines, and it caws as it sees her. And she
Holy shit.
pulls a feather the size of one of the dwarves out of her bag and puts it into the crown of this vine creature, and it caws again, absolutely overjoyed to see her and to have its feather back. The feather fits in its head properly, and its eyes glow, and they have a little conversation. And then she comes back and she bows and she says, "Welcome to my pool. You are safe here."
Whoa.
You can rest, you can drink, you can eat, but once you leave, I cannot guarantee your safety. This is the only realm I have any power in.
You have a very beautiful home.
She
And a
smiles.
And a lovely pet.
She looks back and she goes, "That is my jackdaw, and he guards the pool with me."
Whoa. What's his name?
I just call him Jackdaw.
Oh. Sweet.
You can pet him if you like.
I ran up and pet the jackdaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
You run up, and this giant vine, almost bird-looking creature bends its head down to look at you, and it chirps a little bit and kind of nudges you with the end of its beak.
I'm just gonna stay away from that.
Okay.
Alicia is just in awe of everything that's happening and trying to just connect, imprint everything to memory and just like, yeah.
You know, like how Gimli was super superstitious when he went into Fangorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but now except there's visible weird fairy stuff everywhere, so it's kind of worse. It's not that he's not like afraid of things or superstitious. It's just like, this is not my thing. Keeps his distances, you know.
Makes sense.
Come on, Torkel, pet the jackdaw with me. He's really nice.
I'm good.
I
thanks.
grab Torkel's hand and I pull him a bit forward and do the thing where I place his hand
I'm
on
not
the
moving.
slowly on
I'm
the,
not moving.
the jackdaw.
I am not moving.
Don't you want to give it a try? He's really nice.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. You can have him. It's fine. I'm good.
Oh. Okay. And go back to the jackdaw and say in Sylvan to him, "It's okay, he's just a bit shy. But he's a really nice guy."
The jackdaw kind of chirps again, and you hear this deep voice, like it's coming from the very roots of this creature, say, "Many are afraid of me. It's all right, I don't take offense."
I don't think he's afraid. I think he's just a bit weirded out is all. He'll come around, I'm sure. In Sylvan.
Yeah, was it speaking in Sylvan or in
It's
Common?
speaking Sylvan.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea what.
Yeah,
he's
you guys just
on
hear
about.
this strange rumble come from the creature. Okay, so Yama is going to come over to you guys, and she's going to start handing things to you that she recovered from the court. I don't know if these are helpful, but they have some value or use here in the Feywild. They mean nothing in your plane, but here they do. And she hands you the branch crown and the ivy and flower crown from the king and the queen. They may be useful. I don't know if they have any sway over other creatures here, but if you ever need to bargain, it's always better to bargain here with Fey artifacts than with whatever you bring with you from your plane.
So, were those the actual fairy, king and queen, or?
She kind of waves a hand. Their pixies gone rabid because of the shift from the plains. They weren't welcome back home. The king and queen were not, and the handmaidens had to slip in and out of the Feywild secretly. True pixies and sprites would never take them back into their fold, so they built their home there.
So how'd they get you?
She kind of hangs her head for a minute. They used to visit my pool when they were normal. And one of the handmaidens came through and told me that Queen Corona needed my assistance. And I willingly walked into their trap. I'm too trusting. The jackdaw tells me I'm too trusting. I won't be from this point on.
Yeah, seems he is right. He was right.
It's just so against my nature to not trust others. I don't. Kind of...
Well, you've gotta follow your nature, but you gotta be careful too. Like maybe trust them, but just be cautious about it, if that makes sense.
She looks at you for a moment, Torquil, and she nods. She says, "It does. Clearly, I know how to take care of myself."
Yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't thrill me that I had to kill them all, but I also don't react well to being chained up, as I imagine most don't.
Indeed.
How were they controlling you?
You brought the chains?
I have them.
It's a combination of that area they built, so they had dominion over it. And the chains allow whoever is caught in them to basically be compelled. I had to fight. I could speak on my own, which was their mistake, but I was compelled to fight in their domain for them, and I had to fight anything put in front of me. The blink dogs were pets of theirs.
So some sort of combination of weird fey royal magic thing and chains?
I think it's part of whatever power they gained when they moved from this plane to the other that turned them feral. I think it granted them abilities that they wouldn't have normally had.
Huh.
And the chains are, as you suspect, magical. They're probably useful in other forms, but I'm not sure for what.
Probably for keeping prisoners. That's usually what chains are for.
You may be able to reforge them.
Aye.
She's also going to hand you guys what's left that she picked up. She picks up or pulls out a crystal about palm-sized that is glowing blue. She says this was with the pixies before they even left this plane. It's part of a shooting star. And then she also hands you the mirror that she used to get into the Feywild portal. And she gives you some different herbs for healing, for different concoctions that she had plucked from the gardens that they were growing. And she will tell you that this is a safe area. You can rest, you can drink. She brings out berries and all kinds of food for you and invites you to stay with her for as long as you need.
What else did she hand us?
Part of a shooting star.
Yeah. That's the part that makes Torkel go like, what the fuck? In his head. Like, how the fuck do you end up part of a shooting star?
It's the Feywild. Who knows where they found it? They could have plucked it off of a traveler. Yeah, I'm not sure.
They could have plucked it out of the fucking sky. It's the Feywild.
Also true. There are areas where you can see, and you guys look up and it's nothing but canopy up ahead. Up above your heads, but it's like you're wrapped in this little bubble of trees and vines and gently flowing water. It's not only beautiful, but it does feel very safe and warm here.
I want to ask the jackdaw if it will let me climb on top of its back.
It bows its head even further down to you, so you can scramble up its neck.
I climb up there, but I'm careful trying not to hurt it or anything, and I just want to sit up there and have a look around from up there.
Okay. From your little climb up, Hazel, you do see the entirety of her pool, and it is fully encapsulated in this area. There doesn't
Sorry,
seem
it's
it's
fully
fully it's
encapsulated.
basically you're just in a bubble of trees and vines.
Okay.
Yeah. There's beautiful flowers growing off of one section. It looks like there are herbs right beside it. She's walking around. This is the first time you've seen her walk, too. She's walking around and collecting flowers and herbs and humming to herself and occasionally looking at you. And then she looks up and she sees you up there.
I waved at her.
Yeah, she waves back. And she says, "You can stay. He won't mind. You can stay up there all you want."
Thank you. I whispered to myself, Kale would have loved this place. Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to do while you are in a safe area? So,
Alicia will probably shout up at Hazel. What is it like being tall?
It's like really cool. I asked Jake, can my friend come up too?
it caws and then leans its head down again.
Fine.
Come on up here.
Alicia's gonna try to climb up?
Yeah. I'm not gonna
I'll
make you
also
make a
help
check
her
for
if
it.
she
There's
needs
no
Okay.
way. There you go. Yeah. And the jackdaw, you do notice, Alicia, because Hazel was pretty deft at just scrambling up, not a problem. You do slip a little bit, and as your foot slips, a branch grows out and catches your foot.
Oh,
Aww.
So
this is
helpful.
awesome.
I know,
I
right?
wonder what can I... the Feywild is so cool. I can't wait until I read my books when I get home and just see all the things and I just experience and just read about it and oh my god, I can't wait.
You should write your own book too about what you've seen.
I shouldn't I?
What are Olrin and Naraxis doing right now?
Well, Naraxis, I don't know how he feels about the Feywild in general. I know he's into magic and weird stuff, but I think he's more into weird shadow things, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had he had given me the where did that go? That line in his headspace thing about how he's not as enthralled by the appearance of the place because
Yeah.
the beauty reminds him of Draconia, but he is very interested in the Feywild because it allows him to basically beat things into a bloody pulp. So
Well, seeing as
That's one way of grieving, I guess.
seeing as all creatures around here are allies, I think he's going to be mostly just nursing his wound right now.
okay. She is happy to. She hands over.
And so is
food.
Torkel.
Okay. What about Olrin?
I'll help them like patch themselves up, and then I'm gonna pull Yama. Yeah, is it Yama?
Yama. Mm-hmm.
Yama, yeah. I'll pull her aside and just have like a little chat and actually like introduce myself because I don't think any of us introduced ourselves. But I'll go through and like introduce the group.
Okay.
As I kind of walk her off, and then I'll talk to her.
Sure.
Tell her the name.
So the short one up there that's really excited about the jackdaw, that's Hazel. She was the tiger that you saw. And the other one, the gnome, that's Alicia. And the other dwarf, that'd be Torkel. And then you have Naraxis, the tall dragonborn over there. And my name is Olrin Bronzegrip. And I just wanted to thank you for bringing us to your sanctuary and letting us have rest in your peaceful place. But I gotta ask, what are you, or what is this place? I'm completely unfamiliar with the Feywild.
She smiles at you, and I mean, Olrin, she is stunningly beautiful, but in a strange kind of unique way because she is a creature of the Feywild. And you see her form shift from solid back to water for just a minute, and then she shifts back again into solid. And she says, well, I always swore to myself after I was captured that those who freed me, I would pay them back with whatever I could. So it is my debt to you that I am trying to fulfill right now. You have my genuine thanks. Know that whenever you visit the Feywild, or should you ever come back again, you will be able to find me very, very easily with... And she hands you one of the feathers off the jackdaw.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You can always come back here and be safe.
STDs are making friends everywhere. Such a weird
That's
thing.
terrible. But very accurate.
Right?
Yep.
Oh.
You're contagious. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh shit, we are.
Sorry. Horrible. Okay.
And then after she gives me that, I'll just like bow and appreciate, like a deep appreciation, and I'll say, so is that curse or whatever they had on you, is it still affecting you in any way? Is there any way that I can help you heal or help out in any way?
She puts her hand on your shoulder and she says, I greatly appreciate what you're offering, but your magic and mine, they don't... Basically, it would just cancel each other out. I'm okay, actually. Coming back here to my pool is restoring me. This is where I'm supposed to be. Taking me out of this place can be very dangerous. So, she looks around, and then she kind of peers around you toward the water, and she waves, and she points, trying to get your attention, Ulrin.
I guess I'll look at it.
Okay, you turn around and you do see, out of the water, a smaller form, very similar to hers.
Ooh.
And she says, those are other water Mayrids welcoming me back home. And you see another head pop up and then another head, and eventually there are about 8 of them in the water. And they begin to sing. And you see her form glow. And after a few moments, the song ends, and she is taller. Her hair is longer. And she's floating once more. And the Mayrids all disappear back down into the water. And you all saw and heard this, and it's, I mean, again, like everything with this situation, like nothing you've ever seen before. But it certainly makes an impression.
This phrase is going to come up.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And she will tell you that there are other types of Mayrids, like elementals, other types of Mayrids. So there are fire and air and earth and air. And the air and water ones are closely aligned, and they tend to be the most agreeable. Now that the water Mayrids know what you've done for her, they will assist you in any way they can. If you ever come across a body of water in the Feywild, try to see if you can get a Mayrid to come to you. And all you really have to do is put your hand on the water and see if one will show up.
What did I say?
Making so many friends.
What was that,
Holy
Alicia?
crap.
What do we have to say? You can cut off for me.
You don't have to say anything. If you
just
know a
touch
little
the
bit
hand.
of Sylvan, you can try. But basically, she tries to find the right words for it and kind of comes up with, basically, you've been imprinted on the water Mayrids.
Okay, so just touch your hand and it will work.
Should. If
Should.
there's one in the area, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that'll be a roll. And whenever if you guys want to do that, if you want to attempt it at some point when you're in the Feywild, that'll be a roll to determine whether one shows up or not. She also can tell you that whenever you are ready to leave, she will create a door for you, but her protection only lasts when inside the realm, inside this pool. And she also knows that there is danger near That was the last thing she heard from one of her sister Marids before Yama was taken prisoner. And so she is worried about you if you leave.
But
And
that
we have-
was possibly a long time ago.
Yeah, she's not sure.
Yeah.
And we have to leave in order to find Artagan, right?
Yeah, do you know a guy named Artagan?
You know this guy, Artagan?
I
you know.
yelled down from do you know someone named Artagan?
I do! She does. She will tell you that Artagan would frequently visit because he said her pool was one of the few beautiful places in the Feywild where he felt calm.
Ooh.
But obviously he has not been back since, and she does not know if he will reappear because she has not been around.
Well, I'm sure he'll be happy to know that you're back, and he will probably visit soon after we've met him once we find him.
I hope so. He was always bringing me stories that he'd collected from other travelers. He told me once about how he posed as a satyr and actually drew a strange picture for this group of, kind of like the rest of you, kind of a motley group of travelers. And they were funny, and there was a gnome who sang, and there was a big guy with tattoos, and yeah.
Wait, you're talking about Vox Machina, aren't you?
She pauses for a moment. I don't know that he ever called them that.
Huh.
He just called them a merry group of assholes.
Sounds about right.
Maybe he can draw a picture of us too.
He does like his pictures.
We'll ask him.
You should. I bet he would do it. He seems to like adventurers. They always have stories to tell, and he collects them, and then he tells them to me, and I get to hear about them. Is there anything else you guys want to ask her about?
I'd like to. I'm probably like holding back tears after seeing her reunite with her Myriad family and stuff. And I'm going to ask, so do you have any way to communicate with Artagan? Like, do you have a connection or something? Or is there a way that you can send like a message to him and let him know that we're here? He
Like a
invited us to
sending
come see him.
I mean, how do you know him?
Oh,
Do we have like an invitation? Is there like
It's
a
in
physical invitation, or
yeah,
is
it's
it?
in one of the books that were from the
Oh yeah,
Soon.
you wrote
Sell
in
it.
the book.
Yeah, you wrote
Okay,
it in Sylvan.
one of them
I'll
in
pull.
the one in Sylvan.
I guess I'll pull that one out. The one that looks like I can't read it. I'll just show her.
Okay. She looks
And
at
since
that.
you can't read it, you show him his grocery list.
Bananas, onions, yeah. She looks at that and she says, if you have an invitation, he will find you.
Oh,
Well, that should make it very easy then.
So I imagine that just going into the Feywild, he would probably show up. He tends to do that.
Well, we should still rest for just in case something else shows up first. Right?
Yeah.
Not that
We
I want
can.
to extend our stay or anything, but, safety.
Yeah, do you guys want to take a rest?
If she'll let us, yeah.
As long as you want to stay, she's happy to have the company.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her again then if I'm gonna get off the creature.
I was going to ask, can I like try to slide it down? Like down the thing?
You totally could do that. And
Yeah.
actually, as you do so, Hazel, the branches all shrink back into its body to create this smooth slide of bark. And just as
excited.
you're about to fall, it catches you with its beak and then just puts you on the ground.
At least he's gotta follow if Hazel's done
Yeah,
that.
I was going to, before I slide down, turn to Alicia and say, "Come on, let's go!" Woo!
Alicia joins in.
All right, yeah, same
Oh
thing.
boy.
Completely smooth ride down, and it snaps you out of the air at the last moment and very gently places you on the ground.
I pet its beak and thinks.
It's very, very happy. All of its branches and leaves have kind of fluffed up.
Oh. Then I'm gonna ask Yama again if her memory's gotten any better.
That's a roll, hey. Yeah, okay. She stops and she says, "Give me a moment." And
Also, if you have
Yeah.
any information about the Vogan or Silvanus, both of them.
Or Celestian,
Okay.
or whatever that primordial guy that I have a token thingy of.
That's Celestian,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And I'm like, give her time.
Answers. We need answers. You
Jeez,
watch her
kids these days.
walk off the bridge, down the stairs, and into the river. And she disappears for a moment. And you wait, and then you wait. And it seems like she's down there for who knows how long. Minutes, at least. And after a while, she comes back up, but her form is pure water now. And she says, "He's the bringer of the storms."
Wait, which one?
Vogan.
Okay.
And he created me.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Past that, I don't know.
That's more than I knew already, so thank you so much.
She does also know that there is a large, extremely large silver oak far from here. But the journey is dangerous. And the danger that was here before she was captured remains. And it's made of bone and madness.
That doesn't sound good at all.
It's not good. Didn't T-Rex say something about a silver oak? I seem to remember
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah. I think
Well,
that was pretty much at the center of his whole ocean gods thing.
yeah, in the books we got that started writing in themselves, it said Silvanus, the tree father, the silver oak.
So we should probably go there.
Maybe not now. Let's talk
Maybe
to...
She does not recognize the name Celestian. So are you guys going to take a long rest?
I vote yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that.
Yeah,
It is
before
completely safe here. Yep.
I'm just gonna for 10 minutes focus. I'd cast Identify on the chains and kind of see what they were all about.
Okay.
While
They are enchanted chains of holding. I'll get you the card later. And because I don't think I think I did it, but it's like funky. I need to fix the formatting on it. Oh, hold on a second. Let me reach for something here. There we go. And now that they're broken, the enchantment is not as strong, but basically it serves to lock down magical creatures when they're whole. And then you can compel the creature to do your bidding.
Yep.
Yeah. But that creature has to make a save. And I'll get you the whole card, like I said.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there's
I was just doing it for bookkeeping, what it actually was. And then the 2 crowns, I'd also like to identify those as well while we're resting or before the rest or whatever.
Those are diseased pixie and sprite crowns.
Huh.
They are not traditional, and you get an image of what traditional crowns would look like, and they're typically made out of either some kind of precious stone and feathers, a lot like what you saw the pixie farm made out of. They value those small, brightly colored things. There is no source of power on these, but you do recognize that they could be valuable, like she had mentioned, in the Feywild should you need bargaining chips.
Is it possible to get rid of the disease, or is it just because of like how they're made?
Because of how they were made and the heads that bore them for so long, they are corrupted.
So is it like, could I like use lesser restoration to like get rid of it, or would I know that I could do that? Or
to your knowledge, your abilities and whatever value is in these crowns probably aren't going to jive well together.
okay,
But you could find someone who could maybe restore them.
okay.
Artagan.
Answer to all your problems, right?
I'll have
I mean, we don't know that.
No, but his name's getting bandied around quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys can take a long rest. We will take a break right there, and then we'll come back, and you guys can let me know if there's anything else you want to do on your rest before Yama leads you out of her sanctuary. And we will pause right there. Okay, and so you guys are resting in Yama's pool. She helps. She gives you whatever you need. You have plenty of food to eat, plenty of water to drink. You can refill your canteens. Anything you guys want to get accomplished in the next 8 hours while you rest.
I'll probably read in my Feywild book.
Okay.
And just not read it, but just like go through it and see if anything like pops out as important, at least. It wasn't a really good book, as the seller told me, but
Right.
I'll try.
Yeah. Why don't you? Why don't you go ahead and make
Roll
an
for-
investigation check? I know. I was trying to. I was like, yeah, just do an investigation check.
Investigation. 20, not natural.
Okay. You start. Sorry. Chewing. I should not have done that right there at that moment. You start flipping through, and a couple of things do pop out at you. You do see mention of Mayrids. Some of the history that Yama had told you rings true here. The mention that the earth and fire ones are a little more temperamental, and the water and air ones have an accord between them that's centuries old, that they help each other out. A little bit on the true nature of pixies that Ulrin had kind of sort of gleaned through his earlier checks, that they are very skittish around travelers, that they will not approach you willingly unless their behavior has been changed or they have reason to trust you. You do also find mention of some of the shifting nature of the Feywild. That one moment you can be in a forest, and the next moment you're on a cliff, and then the next you're in a pool of water, and nothing is stable. And it can be very hard to navigate. Unless you have a guide.
Yeah.
Okay. Past that, let me see here what else I've got in here. There is made mention of the Archfey, and just in a general outline, that they are tremendously powerful. They rule their realms, often with iron fists. And if an Archfey doesn't have a realm, it's unusual. But there's a reason for them to not have one.
Do we know if Artagan has a realm? Yeah, sorry.
No, you have no idea.
No.
No. And
I
that's-
want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, are you finished?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was
Okay, sorry. I was just going to say I'm going to practice my flute playing a bit while we sit, because I want to prove to myself that I can play a half decent tune.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well, it's at least better than before, but it's just a 8.
Okay. You start to play, and you do see a little Mayrid head start to kind of peep out of the water. And then it sinks back down again. It does this a few times, every time coming a little bit more out of the water till you can kind of see its shoulders. And then it sees you, and it goes, and dives back down again.
That's so adorable.
I do the thing where I pretend to ignore her, like to let her come closer to me on her own. Like when you have a new cat or so and you like are just sitting somewhere and like wait for them to come to you.
Okay. Make another performance check.
Ah, come on. Oh great, it's a 9 now.
A little bit better each time.
Slow improvement.
Yeah.
You're getting there. She was Mayrid. You can tell it's a female, and very slowly starts to inch. You're kind of on the banks, and she starts to inch her way forward, looking around. You're very pointedly not looking at her. It's super obvious what you're doing. And just very slowly inching toward you. And she's getting closer.
She's gonna slowly creep closer and closer until she's right next to your ear, and then she's gonna say, "You're not very good at this."
I just wanted to cry.
Do you want to keep playing?
Yes.
Okay, so you keep playing. Let's make one more. Don't.
Yes, it's an 18. That's an 18.
Shit.
Okay, you pick up this thread of song, and it's one you know really well, and it just kind of it flies off of your fingers, and you know it by heart. And that Mayrid slowly creeps up onto the bank, and she solidifies a little bit, and she sits down beside you and just listens. She's not looking at you.
I'm just playing the song.
Okay. You do, out of the corner of your eye, see her start to sway in time with the music.
Aww.
And then when you look past into the water, there's another head
Ooh.
kind of peeping up. But it's not coming any closer, but it is watching. Do you finish your song?
Yeah, I do.
You finish your song, and the Mayrid freezes beside you. And then very slowly turns to... And it's, like you would expect, a very fluid movement. It's like she almost doesn't have a spine. Turns to look at you.
Hello.
Cocks her head. Smiles. And holds up a finger. And then dives back into the water.
Which finger did you hold?
Just your index finger. That's a good point. That's fair. That's fair. I will own that. That's fair. Okay. That means something different in the Feywild. Listen. She holds up her index finger and dives back into the water, and there's a few moments.
It means you got 1 point.
Yeah, poop, one. And she comes back, no fear this time, and leans over and kind of motions at you with her hand.
Like, as in that I should follow her, or?
She shakes her hand, which is closed, and then puts her hand palm down like she's going to drop something into your hand.
Okay, I open my palm and stretch it out to her.
Okay, so you do that, and she opens her hand, and into yours drops a red and green seashell.
Ooh.
Let's see. 1 second. What do I have in my inventory? I want to give her something back in return. Like I mimic her emotions that she did to me.
Okay.
What do I have in here that I could give her?
You could give her the flute.
Oh God, no!
I'll give her the wooden doll that I got in Singorn.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
You hold out this little wooden doll. It's beautifully painted. And she sees it and clasps her hands in front of her. Eager.
I motioned for her to stretch out her palm like she did to me.
She does so. She's a little hesitant at first, and then she does.
And then I carefully drop the doll into her palm.
She looks at it and looks at you, and in very excited Sylvan starts to say, Mine, for me?
Yes. It's an exchange of gifts, so now we're friends.
She's just looking at the doll and looking at you and looking at the doll again, and Yama has kind of crept closer, and she's leaning over on that rock bridge that's above you guys. And she leans over and she says to you, Hazel, she goes, That is Shayra. She's very shy, so you've definitely won a friend.
Thank you. I happily pocket the seashell that I got.
Okay. And you see Shayra kind of lean in toward you, and she taps you on the shoulder. And then you're just all of a sudden fucking drenched. And Yama laughs and she goes, she hasn't quite got the art of hugging down.
Oh, that's
The
okay.
The what?
Oh, the art of hugging.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. I was getting a bit warm anyway. And I try to hug her too. Probably also a bit awkwardly because I also haven't hugged anyone in a very long time.
She solidifies just long enough that you can kind of get your arms, you still get that kind of cold, wet sensation on your hands, but you do feel a body there for a moment. And then she waves and dives back into the water, and you hear this burbling come from underneath the water, and you do recognize it as basically underwater Sylvan. And it sounds like she's talking to some of the other Mayrids in the pool.
Look at my doll, y'all.
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
I go back to the others and I show them the seashell I got. Isn't it pretty?
That's really pretty, Hazel.
Oh, the people here are so nice.
Alicia, when you look at it, it's blue and gold.
Oh God, the dress. This is the new puzzle.
Oh no! When Torkel looks at it, it's like a purple and kind of a silvery color.
Ooh.
And when Ulrin looks at it, it's gold and like an auburn.
Ooh. It's a very pretty color.
I know, right?
Okay, so you guys have read them. It just makes me laugh. Eventually, she's gonna pull it out. And she's gonna be like, "Isn't this a really pretty red and green shell?" And you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
No.
Yeah.
Blue.
Huh?
So you guys can
maybe-
rest.
Talk-
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Torkel and Ulrun if they seem to see the same colors because I wanted to see if it's depending on your race thing, what colors you see.
That's racist.
Sorry, I didn't mean it I was hesitating, but I was it's not a bad thing. I just wanted to know if that's the reason, but I guess it's not, so.
Yeah, it's not because Ulrin and Torkel don't see the same colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It showcases
it's
our
class-based.
individual personalities
Oh.
or something.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's a pretty gold and an auburn to me, but I don't know what everybody else sees. It must be magical of some kind.
Can I do detect magic on it, if you allow me?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I cast detect magic because
Okay.
it's still... We haven't slept yet, I think.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So
No,
I'll just
it
cast
is,
spells in-
It is a clearly made from material in the Feywild, and it holds no real arcane value, but clearly the Mayred valued it.
Yeah. It's beautiful. You should really appreciate it. Yeah, that's the word.
I will. And I'm sorry, talking older. I really didn't mean anything by the race thing.
Oh no, it's nothing.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think you are each very special and unique in your own way.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not even touching that. You guys can rest. Is there anything else that you want to do before you go to sleep?
I think. Hold on, let me check Xanathar. Do I need to, for the Artisan's Blessing, it says that I can, like, create, like, ammunition. So, could I make more bullets for Torkel after seeing them? Or do I have to, like, would it be like I have to hold one and, like, focus on it to, like, make 10 pieces using Artisan's Blessing? Or
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would.
like how do you want to do this?
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah,
keep in mind those are old type guns. They don't fire like complicated bullets with powder in them and
No,
casing and
yeah,
all
it's
that.
it's ball.
So yeah, it should be pretty easy, really.
Yeah, I would say that, and I looked at that, when we first were talking about using that Artisan's Blessing. With simple shot like that, you absolutely can do that.
Yeah, because it's just a metal ball, so I figure I can.
Yeah.
Would I need to like hold one or
The guns would be super hard to make, but
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I would say just holding on to it because you've not made it before.
Okay.
Just hold on to one of his bullets and focus, and you should be able to make the 10 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess after we're done, after Hazel like walks away with her shell all happy and giddy, I'll walk over to Torkel and I'll say, "Oh Torkel, do you mind if I see one of your little metal balls that you fire out of your pistol?"
Sure, I guess.
I'll bring it
one
back.
of my ammo. Yeah, please do, because I don't have a whole lot left.
I appreciate it. And I'll take it, and then I'll like clasp it in my hands, and I'll kind of go into a kneeling position, and I'll kind of roll it in my hands, and like sparks and like ash kind of start to come out of in between my hands, and like some like radiant bursts of light start showing up, and I'll like lay out silver. I think like 10 pieces of silver would be enough to make it.
Yeah.
I need one for each bullet that's going to be made. Like I need equal amount of metal.
Right.
So, and I'm going to make 10 silver pieces of ammunition, 10 silver bullets, essentially. And so I'm just going to sit there and like roll the ball in my hand and start to kind of like just go into kind of like a meditative state. And then eventually it coalesces into 10 pieces of silver bullets. And then I'm going to grab those and walk back to Torkel, and I'll hand him his ball back and then hand him the other ones. And I'll say, these should be helpful for us if we fight creatures that have like resistances and stuff. So if you need any more, just let me know. I can do this daily, but you're about the only one that uses ammunition, really. So if you need more, just let me know.
Well, thank you. That's very handy.
Yeah, no problem. It's all from Moradin, so just
praise the whole hammer indeed.
Yes, thank you. And then I'll just kind of go on and go meditate and sleep, I guess.
Naraxis is going to be joining us here in a moment. So,
Yay!
Woo!
Guys, back together. All right.
Hooray!
Anybody? You guys kind of all saw Ulrin do this really cool thing, and he goes into this almost trance state, and when he opens his eyes and moves his hands, there's ammo, and it's like, holy crap.
Magician.
Ta-da!
All right, anybody else? Oh, all right. We'll give Neuraxis a beat to... He's turned on his computer, so we'll give him a beat to kind of hop in here. Yama will come around to all of you. She will repair any tears in your clothing if you've gotten hurt or anything like that. She will offer you all the food and the bounty of what grows here. You're welcome to fill your packs with whatever you want to take. The food doesn't disappear once you leave. If you want to take food with you, you can.
Yeah, it's not a magnificent mansion.
Right.
Are there strawberries?
Why don't you make an investigation check?
A strawberry
Ooh, 18.
investigation.
Very good.
Oh.
19.
Takes you a minute because there are some berry bushes, like large berry bushes in the way. They look like smaller cherries almost. And as you start rooting around, you do see on the ground runners leading to a strawberry patch.
Oh god. Her enhanced strawberry senses.
I really need to
Strawberry
create
sands are tingling.
I swear to God, I'm going to create a homebrew sugar goblin class for you.
Yas!
Just because.
Or like
really
a feat
funny.
or something.
Yeah, feat something. The power
yeah.
of the sugar goblin.
Sugar rush.
Yeah,
Oh, I
sugar
love
rush, sugar
it.
crash. Right.
Oh god.
Oh man, one of these days when I have more time.
Can I get some strawberries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick some and put them in my pouch.
Okay.
For later, I'm not going to indulge right now.
They are not red. They look like a strawberry, but they're not red. They're blue and purple and kind of a golden color.
Yeah. Special strawberry.
But I see golden auburn strawberries.
Oh my gosh! What if everything has different color here depending on who looks at it?
What if they taste different too?
Snozberries.
Can Alicia take a strawberry and taste them
Sure.
to see if they actually taste like?
It tastes like a strawberry, but somehow sweeter.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
No, no.
Is it good, Alicia?
It's really good.
No. We
Yeah,
have
it's-
things
it's-
to do. Later.
Talking yourself out of eating it.
Yes.
Oh. Are there any apples or something like that?
Yeah.
So.
Further
Yeah.
into the glade, there are apple trees, and there are bright red and gold and orange apples all over the ground.
Alicia will take some and put them in her backpack for later.
I'm gonna try and find the less sweet stuff,
Okay.
if there is such a thing here.
There are some, they kind of resemble citrus trees. They've got the rind
yeah.
on the outside. They're a little bit smaller than a typical orange, but they have a similar appearance to them. And again, various colors just all over the tree, and there's several on the ground.
Yeah, sure, that works.
Okay. So you guys are eating, you're resting, you guys are talking, Ulrin's making bullets, you know.
Woo!
We
Woohoo,
can
yeah.
refill our water skins and stuff.
Yep, you can do that. You can drink, you can bathe, you can do whatever it is that you need to do here.
Oh, I'm not bathing in the Feywild.
No.
You do see, as you come back from your various fruit picking, you do see the jackdaw his head is slowly drooping and his eyes are closing. I
No,
heard
he's gone to sleep.
a dragonborn, I think.
I think Noraxis just woke up, guys.
And out of the woods, you see.
Yeah.
And naked Daraxis.
He's been here the whole time. What happened? The jackdaw is falling asleep, it appears. And Yama sits at the roots of his body and waits for him to fall asleep, and she begins to sing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the light around you slowly fades. She reaches out a hand, and that green light slowly fades into a deep twilight. And you watch as the little fairy lights light up all around you.
Oh, so it's night now.
She seems to be controlling the ebb and flow of time here, yes.
Cool. It's like her own little demi-plane or something within the Feywild.
Kind of, yeah. She has full control here in her realm.
Cool.
Oh, I think our Dragonborn's in roll 20 now.
Oh, yes.
Can I, like, after I get done making the bullets and everything, can I take out one of the broken links of that chain and, like, heat? Can I, like, cast heat metal enough to, like, kind of make it malleable and, like, a little combination of heat metal and mending to make sort of like a bracelet?
Physically, yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, the enchantment on it is going to be more complicated.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna enchant it or anything. I just want to like bend it, like that's.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
And then I'll walk over to Yama and just present it to her.
Oh, souvenir bracelet.
Oh, okay.
And I'll say this is a token from me to remember us by and possibly help you out. I don't know if the enchantment would be useful here for you since you appear to have control over this domain, but I figure a bracelet may be easier to slip on somebody than chains would be, and a little less, I don't know, disrespectful, I suppose.
She takes it from you and inspects it and smiles, and she says, "This is very good work."
Thanks.
I will contemplate how to best use this. I am not sure yet. It's still, to me, too close to the memory of my enslavement. But I may be able to find a way to use this for good rather than the evil that it was created for.
Of course, and I'll point to the thing and I'll show her that there's like a specific, like, it's not like a whole circle, and I'll just say, you know, part of the memory is also breaking the chain as well, so remember that with all bad things comes a wee bit of good.
Ah.
And with that memory becomes the memory of my new friends, so there is good there.
Aye. And then I'll just like give her a graceful bow and just kind of walk back to my bedroll and just sit there and meditate again.
Okay. All right. You see her go back to the jackdaw and recline against the roots while she watches over all of you as you sleep. I am going to pause this for just a second.
Just making
That would
sure.
have been bad.
I know, right? Yeah, that would have been bad. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. We're gonna pause
We're
and
gonna
then
pause and then never
there's
come back.
nothing else recorded.
Right? No, let me just double check. Hold on, let me double check it. Okay.
That would be
Nope,
sad.
it's going now. There we go.
Okay,
Thank you for
cool.
reminding me.
Hooray.
So your 8 hours passes. You don't dream. You don't have any knowledge of the passage of time. And when you awaken, you are fully refreshed. All your hit points are back. Spells are back. Abilities, all that fun jazz. And Yama is waiting for all of you. She will tell you that in order to leave the realm, she will open the way when you're ready, and that you just need to follow the stream.
Oh, cool.
Once the
That's
stream
convenient.
stops, that's where the forest grows darker.
Oh.
So you will be traveling parallel towards sunset, and then once the stream stops, you will be in a darker part of the forest, and that is where she fears the danger is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your help.
She smiles and bows, and she says, "Thank you for saving me."
I also pet the jackdaw goodbye.
Okay.
Alicia, just to.
Yeah. Oh, did we lose Alicia?
No. Oh,
okay.
there.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No, I also pet the creature.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I don't.
The jackdaw chirps at you both and kind of shakes itself and settles back in. You both feel something kind of strange on your head, and when you reach up, there is a jackdaw feather.
Ooh.
It's kind of an iridescent blue-green that when you twist it and turn it in the light, it turns to almost a black-purple color and then back again.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I tuck it into my hair.
Okay.
I put it into my spellbook
Okay.
at the last page.
At the last page. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Yama is waiting at the edge of her realm. If you're ready to go, I can open the door.
I mean,
I think-
the way, I guess.
is
Yeah.
anyone not ready?
Yeah.
Aye.
Ready?
We've got this, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
She puts her.
I'm just wondering, do we want to go danger part?
We don't have any choice, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. Sounds
Okay.
like we have to go through there.
Yeah, isn't it like the only way out?
right.
Yeah.
It's the way she knows out. Where you go from there, it's a forest, so.
Yeah.
You guys
All right, let's go.
Yeah, you can, once the stream stops, you can veer off, you can go different directions. She just knows once the water stops, that's where danger may be. All right, so she'll put her hand on the wall of trees and vines, and it shimmers, and then the vines pull back with a creak, and you have a way forward, and the stream goes out with it.
I'll go through and I'll bow to her, and as I'm leaving, I'll tell her if you see Artagan again, tell him that we're looking for him, or tell him that we're here already. So, and I appreciate all of your help and giving us sanctuary here. Blessings upon you.
We might see him before she does, but yeah, what he said.
Okay. You guys pass through the portal. She waves goodbye, tells you all to be careful, and then the vines close, and the realm disappears.
Yeah.
You have before you heavy forest and a gurgling stream. And when you look over at the stream, you do see, peeking out, Hazel's Mayrid.
Aww. I wave goodbye to her. I hold the seashell up.
She waves at you and then points down the stream and begins to swim that way.
Begins to what?
And begins to watch you.
Oh, sorry. She begins to swim down the stream.
Oh.
I think she wants us to follow her.
Well, we were following the stream either way, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the
Let's go.
feeling that she's kind of there to just make sure you stay on the path for as long as she can.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys walk along the banks of this stream for an hour, and then the Mayrid leaps into the air, waves goodbye, and swims back the way you guys came from. Another Mayrid takes her place and begins to swim.
we're taking
Again.
turns.
Yeah, they seem to be guiding you as far as they can go. And you follow again, and then the Mayrids switch, and then you follow again, and hours pass. The light around you is of pure sunset, so it's orange and purple and pink, but the light never changes in intensity. It never leans toward dark. It's a constant. And as you look around, fairy lights pop up in the bushes and among the trees. Occasionally you see smaller creatures in the water leap out and follow the Mayrids. And every now and then you feel a brush beside you, and there's little pixie lights that dance off into the bushes. You hear strange bird cries, the rustle of probably small animals in the brush, and hours and hours and hours pass. And at this point you've lost full track of time, and the stream has narrowed once, and then twice, and then 3 times down to a trickle. And then it's gone.
Oh.
And around you, the forest is much darker now. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys copied over here. And as you enter this strange clearing,
Holy
it's
shit.
very different.
Oh.
Why is there a creepy hole there?
It's actually a large tree stump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And everything here is different, clearly. The light has changed to that darker bit of forest.
Are
Little
those bees?
fireflies and little bugs that are lit up kind of dance around the darker ferns and flowers here. And in the middle of this clearing is a large tree stump. What do you
Is
guys
it
want to do?
So what?
Alicia-
Now, do we just call for Artagan's name or something?
Alicia will
Said he
walk
would
forward
find
to
us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Alicia will walk forward to the tree at least and just look at it and
I'll
just be in awe.
Her.
Okay. The air here is thicker. It's a little more humid than what you have been used to over the last several hours. And as you guys all start to slowly look around at the area you're in now, I need you all to make perception checks.
14.
10.
8.
17.
10.
Okay. Elysia and Torkel, off to this side. I'm going to ping a couple of times so that you can see.
Oh.
You do notice what look to be yellow eyes looking at you from the bushes. And the minute you turn your attention that way, they disappear. And then they reappear over here. Same thing. You look, they disappear, and they're over here now.
We're being watched.
And then you hear a voice. And it says, "You have to come this way, you have to come this way. Artagan tells me the tree is down this way." And you know the voice, it's Tyrax.
Artagan what?
You have to come this way. Artagan tells me the tree is this way. And out of the brush
I'm not with you.
walks Tyrax.
Huh.
Insight check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Like, how the hell did you get here? Before us.
I basically, can I do like, that sounds weird, but can I do a smell check to see if he smells the same as Tyrax
You
does?
most definitely can.
Spell check.
Okay, so I get advantage.
14.
17. Oh wait, perception. Perception.
Yeah.
18.
Hazel, he smells like blood and rotting meat.
Yeah. I say to everyone, guys, that is definitely not Tyrax. Whatever it is, it smells of blood and rot.
He is advancing on you. He's walking towards you, smiling. I know where we need to go. We need to go this way.
Fuck.
Yeah, if Hazel says he smells funny, then it's like axe in hand and 2 steps forward.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, stay where you are.
Whoa,
I dropped my gun and I pointed at him.
Can I use an action to use my flash recall thing to change the repair spell?
Yeah.
It takes 6 seconds.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna change to detect thoughts,
Okay.
Ooh.
so I can use that one on him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna change comprehend languages
Okay.
from comprehend languages to detect thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, we got our Sylvan interpret here.
So detect thoughts on the creature that might be T-Rex.
Okay. Is there a save to that? Or does it just happen?
For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell, as your action at your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. I learned surface thoughts, and I can go deeper, but then the creature has to take a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, okay.
So
That's what I
for the
was trying to
moment, it
remember.
looks like I don't have.
On the surface, you get a vision of a skull with antlers. You get the cracking of bone and the rending of flesh. And you get a very strange image of bright red eyes and the sharpest teeth you've ever seen grinning at you.
Holy shit.
That's not T-Rex.
He has stopped. His hands are up. Just like, hey, don't shoot me. And, but he's like, what do you, we need to go. Guys, like he's not going to wait around forever.
How did you get here?
I came through the Fey portal behind the pixie tree.
Questions verbally directed at the target creature naturally shape the course of its thoughts, so this spell is particularly effective as part of an interrogation. I can still sense his thoughts. Are they surface thoughts still?
He knows what happened at the pixie tree, but he was not there.
Okay. So it's not T-Rex.
As you guys are having this conversation, and he has stopped, and out of the bushes walks, or really almost floats, this strange elven creature that you've never seen before. And he calmly comes up behind the form of T-Rex and puts a sword right between his ribs. And pulls it out, wipes it off on a cloth, throws the cloth off to the side, and says, "Don't ever use my name in vain like that." And the body falls forward, and its image shimmers and transforms into a half-desiccated deer that's been bandaged and cut away in some places. And as it falls, it slowly dissolves into ash and floats away.
What in the 9 hells is going on?
No, we're still in the Feywild.
You guys get a good look at this creature now. Very tall and thin, long pointed ears, dark green eyes, and a huge mane of curly orange hair. He's wearing sleeveless silk vestments, the blue and green gem-like, very bright in their colors. And he looks at all of you, kind of kicks the ash off to the side, and he says, "Well, aren't you all fascinating?"
I
Thank you.
holster my gun.
Thank you.
Good move.
I changed the detect thoughts over to the new creature.
Okay. You don't get anything.
No, but it's there.
You don't, yeah, nothing.
No.
He smiles and he bows. "I see you got my invitation."
Who are you, Artagan?
When he
One
says
and
that,
only.
I put the axe away.
I say, Yama says hi, by the way. She's back home.
You see a little flicker on his face, and he looks at you, Good to know. I'd been wondering where she'd gotten to. I'll have to pay her a visit.
Well, you know those little fairies and pixies that you gave that place to?
Oh, I didn't give them anything.
Well, that you allowed, I guess. It's what they said.
Yeah, they're all
Anyway,
dead, by the
those
way.
crazy ones, they weren't very nice to her.
Let me guess. They tricked her, they caught her, and they enslaved her.
Yes.
Good guess.
Yeah.
They're dead now.
Well, so she took bloody, watery vengeance on them, didn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Delightful.
I'm sure she'd like to tell you about it herself.
I'll
But,
have to get the story directly from her.
Yeah, but I believe since you so kindly invited us, I believe we have things to discuss first, right?
He laughs and goes, and you walked right into the Feywild. I love it. Ugh. We get wanderers every now and then, but it's been some time. Or has it? Time has no meaning here. I mean, you know, Vox Machina, that's for certain, but there's an appeal? Oh, bright-eyed, armor hardly dented, big weapons. Oh, of course. The possibilities.
Yeah, it has been some time. I mean, I've heard about them going in the Feywild and meeting you. Heard many tales.
So my tale has spread onto the material plane. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yes.
He kind of comes
I mean,
over
if you
here.
listen to the right stories, of course.
He sits down on the tree stump and he looks like he's anticipating whatever you want to tell him.
I just motioned to was it Alicia with the book?
No, Olin has
Or
the
was
book
it
right now,
Hazel?
but Hazel got the invitation.
Yeah.
Okay, so I motioned to Hazel.
I see them. Thank you for the invitation. Sorry that we kept you waiting. We had to do some stuff first before we got to come here. Why did you want to talk to us?
Well, you want answers, don't you? Poking
Oh.
around in places.
Yeah, that's us.
Answers would be nice.
So I get wind of things on occasion from the material plane, and your friend Tirax came poking around himself a while back, looking for answers concerning a name Silvanus. Now that isn't a name I've heard in quite some time, because he hasn't truly existed in quite some time. You see, it's a whole... He kind of waves his hand in the air like he's looking for the right words. It's a lot of drama, let's just say. And we don't keep track of the material plane things here in the Feywild, but I like to keep my ear to the ground, you see. So, let me get a look at all of you first, because I'm very curious. All right, gnome, 2 dwarves, a dragonborn, and a halfling. It's very stock and trade on the material plane, isn't it? No elves among you, I see. That's probably for the better. They're a bunch of assholes, in my opinion, but... So, let's lay the groundwork, shall we? The Feywild is chaos. I'm sure you're understanding that.
We've noticed.
Good. It means
Yeah.
you're not completely inept. However, chaos and ruin often coincide. I don't like ruin. Neither do most of the Archfey. There's one, but he's also a bit of an asshole. That's a whole other story. Neither here nor there. However, there is chaos, and he has to answer for it. It ties into your little quest for Silvanus, you see, because the person sowing chaos is Silvanus' son.
Huh.
And why is he doing that?
Oh, his father revoked his blood ages ago. Don't ask, it's a horrible process. Basically,
That drama you mentioned.
The drama, right. The family drama, which is just completely ridiculous. He revoked his blood because the son did something horrible. He got punted into the Feywild. The Feywild made him crazy. And then he got in trouble with the High Queen. That went off the rails, and now he's just running around certain parts of the Feywild with his pack, sowing ruin.
With his pack?
The hunt.
The hunt.
Werewolves?
That's what they're called. The hunt.
Is he like me?
Like you how, darling?
I transformed into my
nothing.
tiger.
Oh God.
No.
No,
I said it. I transformed to show him.
She said it. Yep. He slips down off the stump and comes to kneel before you. And he goes, "A blood hunter. Oh, well, you're far more fascinating than I gave you credit for before."
What now?
Interesting.
Well, not really. I mean, not yet. I hope to be one day, but the tiger form came before.
I like it. Oh, you're dangerous. I like that even more.
Oh, she is. She really is.
She is perhaps the most dangerous among us.
That's interesting. All right.
I transform back. I don't want it to stay in it for long. I just want to show him.
He gets up off the ground and looks at you, and this delighted smile on his face. You guys have a very good look at him now. He is almost alien in his elven features. They're very exaggerated, and he's impossibly beautiful, but in a scary kind of, oh my god, I need a wall between me and him kind of a way. With a peephole so I can look at
need an adult.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Someone get an adult in this situation, please. He says, all right, that buys you information. So here we go. And he goes back over to the stump. Silvanus now exists as a tree. I'm sure you've sussed that much out.
A silver one.
Yes, the silver oak, right? The great tree father. He's not so great anymore. Honestly, he's on his last legs. But that's not my piece of it to tell you. You can talk to the keeper if you get to that point. I'll bring her to you if you manage to work your way towards Silvanus. It's a tree. It's complicated. Suffice to say, he doesn't have any power anymore, but his son does. His son, in one of his heinous acts, took an artifact. Well, he actually killed the person who made the artifact for Silvanus, and then took the artifact, and that's what got him into trouble.
What kind of artifact?
It's a belt.
What kind of belt?
Oh, I suppose you would call it a sash.
Quite large.
Yeah. Kind of a
Like
cloak.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not a cloak.
But this is green.
A bit. There's other colors in there as well. It's made of leaves, mostly.
I just look really worriedly at Alicia. Like, I don't say anything.
Yeah.
It's just a look of like, oh, please, no.
No.
Oh, fine. If you're not going to be forthcoming, it's called Gaia's sash.
You're cutting off again.
Sorry. He kind of waves his hand. Like, there's a little bit of an eye roll, and he goes, it's called Gaia's sash.
Oh, Gaia's sash.
What's Gaia's sash?
It's a belt.
It's written in together in the book with Vorgon and Silvanus, and then in the end it said Gaia's sash.
Oh.
Let me correct you on that. It's strictly Silvanus. It's not a...
Didn't it say Vorgon too?
Well, you got that info first from the memory word.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
It's his... I don't even know if you can honestly call it an artifact anymore. He's practically gone, so it's lost a lot of its use. But it's dangerous, and obviously in the hands of his son, it's even more dangerous. There are certain things you don't want certain people getting a hold of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, very, very, very long story short, Silvanus existed, and he doesn't anymore. His son rebelled, teenagers. Little rebellion goes a long way, and now he's a monster. And we don't like to use this because it gives him power he doesn't need, but they call him the Lord of the Hunt.
Wait, so
And what
you want us
kind
to-
of creature is he? What does he turn into?
Yeah.
That little bit of flash you got off of your fake friend there, right? The bloody, desiccated deer with the antlers and the whole thing. Like that, but worse.
Ugh.
He's a were-deer?
And you want us to
No.
kill it
Finish
or
it.
chase it? I'm losing. What?
I'm providing answers. What you do with those are up to you.
Yeah.
The sun has Gaia's sash. He's using it to run the wild hunt, sowing ruin through the Feywild. If someone wants to stop him, well, I'm sure most of the Archfey would then owe you something. But Gaia's sash is also the only way that you can get to Silvanus.
Yes.
Kill the bad guy,
Okay.
take the treasure, go visit the would-be now dead god, and go about your merry way back to the material plane. It sounds easy, right?
Like, she wants
That-
attention and then she doesn't want it. She can't make her mind up.
That sounds like a deal to me, certainly.
Yeah, it sounds very simple when you put it that way, that's for sure.
How,
I doubt it
how,
will
la-
stay that way.
how large is his pack? How many lichens are there?
Oh, they're not lichens, my dear.
Oh,
Are they deers?
There are creatures who know how to mimic, right? Like your...
Oh, like this
Or
one,
dead
and I
deer.
point where the ashes are, yeah.
Yep. There are creatures who
Oh.
mimic. There are huntsmen. There are all different manner of forest creatures who have bonded together, who wouldn't normally bond together, but have because they're entranced by the hunt. He's got a few shadow assassins. He has all kinds of things at his beck and call because you see the hunt either finds its prey or it takes you as the next huntsman.
That doesn't sound too good.
Well, considering no one's actually survived the hunt, probably not to you, I would imagine.
So, in short, you invited us because you know that we're looking into this kind of stuff, and you and other Archfey would like it to be taken care of. Am I getting this right?
That's a slightly crass way of putting it, but sure.
In the end, we all win, right?
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know a lot of things, I take it. Secrets other than just this. Father of trees and son of huntsmen. If we do this for you, there is a question to which we could use your answer.
Do I get to know the question beforehand?
I mean, if you so wish, I'm sure I could hardly keep it from you.
Well, then do regale me.
He just looks at Alicia and looks back at him. The green cloak that we asked about before.
Mm-hmm.
We know that it's necromancy. We know that it was once in the hands of, well, I don't know what you would call her, the Witch Queen, the Raven Queen, whatever she is to you. I mean, what is it? Or where is it? Or it seems to be important, and it's terrifying.
You see him freeze ever so slightly at the mention of the Witch Queen. And he gives you kind of a narrowed-eyed stare. That's not a name I've heard in a while. She's dead.
Yeah. But her story isn't.
We can't fight what we don't know.
Also a good point. She's supposed to be dead. But what if she isn't? And he gets up and he starts pacing back and forth, hands clasped behind him, his hair kind of bouncing around as he walks. And you see him do this frantic back and forth. If she's not dead, well, that makes sense. Then the cloak is out in the world still. And he turns around real fast, whips around to all of you, and he says, and if that cloak is still in the world, you are in for a world of hurt and pain and death and misery.
Well, isn't that encouraging?
Yeah.
That thing needs to be destroyed.
As I said, we can't find it, we can't fight it if we don't know what it is, and you seem like a creature that knows many secrets.
But I haven't been on the material plane in some time. I have my ways, but I don't have feelers everywhere. Hold on a second. Oh, shit! Natural fucking 20.
Oh.
Yay!
Alright. Oh my god. Okay. He stops and you see his form shift. And shift again. Like he's almost vibrating out of your range of sight. And when it solidifies, he's got a trickle of blood coming out of his nose. And his hair is kind of matted down. He doesn't look like himself.
Shit.
Are you
You
are you okay?
mister?
Did we
Did we destroy him? Destroy you?
If you hadn't... Let me put it this way. It's in the hands of someone... She calls herself the Rebel Queen.
Rebel Queen?
Okay.
You'll find
Well,
her on a ship.
A ship.
A ship. A large vessel. Anchored somewhere off the eastern coast of Taldore. Look for port cities. And he kind of sinks against the stump. All the color out of his face at this point. I can't do that again, you understand.
Thank you so much.
You don't look
Thank you.
so good right now.
Coming from the dwarf with the giant beard. And he kind of coughs and goes, I'm sorry. My sarcasm gets the better of me when nothing's hurt in quite some time. How do you mortals do this? This is horrible.
Oh, we don't know otherwise, so...
Why would you want to live like that?
I mean, I drink.
Some people. I read.
It's not really a
eat
choice we
sugar.
have. Either you deal with what you have, or you die.
He's got kind of a hand on his ribs. He's, right. Well, now, this has been so much fun. I tell you what, I was going to strike a bargain, but you seem to be more capable than most who have come through here recently, and Vox Machina had their own goals at the time. Sondor's gone, so that's a whole thing. But you're looking for someone... You're looking for the Lord of the Hunt. He will find you, however. Because you appear capable, and he loves capable hunters. And even better, capable prey.
Right. So he's gonna want to hunt us.
Likely, unless he can convince you to join the hunt. I wouldn't recommend that, though.
No.
That's a path of madness.
I have no intention of staying in the Feywild more than strictly necessary in the first place.
Fair enough. Another bit for you. This is his event, right? His hunt. He's not likely to give up his crown, his sash, so easily. Your best bet is to ignore the voices, follow the lights, and when you get an invitation, don't take it on face value. Make your own terms.
Is that just general Feywild advice?
doubly so with the wild hunt.
Oh,
Specifically, don't follow the voices.
right.
That we can manage.
All right, good. There's less chance of you going crazy that way.
How many huntsmen does he have in his pack?
At any given
Do you know?
time, he keeps wolves with him. His lieutenant has some kind of odd, corrupted fey dryad with him. It's not a dryad quite, but it's close. You'll find huntsmen with their hunting dogs. They usually go 2 or 3 in a set. And then you occasionally will find an assassin working on their own. It varies. But
That sounds like a lot of trouble.
they haven't had a hunt in quite some time either.
Do they have a place where they stay when they're not hunting?
If they do, I haven't even been able to find it. That,
Maybe they're just hunting all the freaking time.
I've heard some stories of people wandering into the hunt on accident. Actually, that's how it happens most of the time. Occasionally, you'll get the idiot who comes through here thinking he can, join the hunt and turn them into good, and no. One other thing before you go. There's a lot of damage that they can do. A lot of them carry poisons. A lot of them carry weapons or have abilities of things that you have not encountered before. Just be mindful of that.
Oh, speaking of which, do they have any weak points? Like, are they vulnerable to, I don't know, silver or something?
There are some who are vulnerable to fire. There will be some who are going to be resistant to your magic. And there are some that if you can separate them, in the case of perhaps the huntsman, if you can separate the huntsman and the dog, not easy to do but possible, you may be able to convince the dog to not come back. How you do that, I don't know, but the dogs used to be victims of the hunt. Appealing to their humanity, or whatever word you want to use there, may be useful.
Right. So they're all mad, but the dogs are still dogs, is what you're saying.
They're a type of dog. If you like dogs with giant snapping teeth that also do strange
not really,
things.
but we'll see.
I don't know. He kind of coughs again, and there's another trickle of blood out of his nose. If you don't mind, I really should go take care of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Alicia, fire spells, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He comes over to all of you, and he says, "You leave this glade. The huntsman will find you. Make your own terms." And then he's gone.
Oh.
That was nice.
He was certainly a character.
Yeah, he certainly was.
Oh, we forgot to ask about a drawing. What a shame.
Yeah.
You say that, and a piece of parchment floats down out of the air.
Oh god.
And it shows all of you,
no.
but Naraxis's tail is like through his head, and he's making a dirt face. Torkel's gun is in pieces on the ground, and he's like making this dumb face trying to put it all back together. Hazel's half cat, half Hazel. Like caught in mid-transformation, and she's trying to eat her own tail.
Of course.
And Alicia is pointing her wand at her shoulder and saying, "This is how magic works, her." And then Alrin's hammer is buried in the ground and he's pulling on it. "I can't get it out. I'm such a weak baby dwarf."
Oh boy.
That's certainly a
I talk too fast.
yeah.
It's
Our first piece of fan art.
Treasure it forever.
just put it in the bag. Just put it in the bag.
Alright.
I don't.
So he said to pick our own terms.
Yeah.
Don't run. Don't hide. Maybe dig in. Make them fight through. I don't know. Fortifications, traps. Just don't do it the way they want it to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have no chance to beat
I mean,
them.
they will want to. They will want to either hunt us or have us join them. We should think of another option.
He said they could change their appearance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them.
Like T-Rex.
We have a lantern of revealing.
We do.
Oh, we do.
That's useful.
But they only work for invisible things, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
Still, they've got assassins. Couldn't hurt to
Yeah.
see invisible things.
So at least if
Hmm.
have that one burning and someone.
Some I don't like the idea of taking them on all at once.
Yeah.
Like, it would be good if we could separate some from the pack.
Yeah.
Hmm. Maybe one of the terms could be one hunter per target, so we fight like in equal numbers.
Why would they listen to our terms?
Because there are our terms, and we cannot accept theirs.
Well, if they consider themselves so great, where's the fun in hunting something that is much, much weaker than you? Where's the challenge? Where's the risk? Where's
Yeah,
the
exactly. Let's make them earn their hunting trophies or whatever they will think we are worth to them. And if they want to have us join them, we'll have them prove themselves to us. You know, kind of reverse the situation.
Or we
Like,
leave them bleeding
you
in the
prove
dirt.
to us that you are worth joining, you know?
Mm.
And that's when we get them, of course.
If we make the hunt more interesting for them, that might work.
Yes.
All right. So what's the plan, you guys?
Well,
In
I
order for
guess we are expecting them to find us, because that seems to be how
Yeah.
things work around here.
Do we set up an ambush?
If we want to challenge them, we need to talk to them first.
Yeah. I don't
But
think
then-
an ambush.
They need to find us. Maybe first of all, take out the lantern of revealing and just look around and have someone look around while we talk.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sure no one sneaks up on us because
Wait. One of them was just here. Then Artagan
Yeah.
came and killed
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and then Artagan left.
That means they already know we're here.
They might. Or they might notice that one of them is missing. So they can't be all that far. Right?
no. But then again, it's Feywild.
Yeah. True.
All right. So what would you like to do?
I guess we'll look for them, I suppose.
Take out the lantern and just at least
Yeah.
Alicia will take out. If no one else will do it, Alicia will take out the lantern and start walking around the
Okay.
clearing to just
Yeah.
see if there's anything invisible.
With one
Change the
pint of oil, it burns for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take this lantern out, put the oil in, light it, and bright light is shed all around you, and you start to kind of scan your surroundings. Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Yay. 19.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You start to scan. You scan very heavily in the area where that creature approached from. You scan the bushes where the yellow eyes had appeared before. You scan where Artagan came out of. You are not getting anything.
No.
I would like to climb on the top of this stump if it's possible and see if I can smell or hear anything in the close vicinity that seems strange or unusual.
Perception check.
16.
Okay.
Oh, I have advantage on it. Sorry.
You do.
Yeah, 16. That was a 2.
You stand there for a moment and let your more animal senses kind of take over. You get a whiff of some, foliage, some flowers. You hear the buzzing of these fireflies. And then you hear hoofs.
Do I know from which direction they're coming?
This way.
Okay. I walk to the edge of the stump and point down and say, "Guys, I think we're getting company from over there. I hear the sound of horse hoofs. Or someone's hoofs.
Not quite as heavy as a horse.
Deer hoofs, maybe?
Maybe."
And out from the trail appears a huge golden deer. And it paws the ground and then walks back the way it came until it's out of
They
sight.
know we're here at least.
Wait, it was a golden deer?
Yeah.
Did it look healthy or?
Yeah, no, it looked like just a huge golden deer with a giant rack of antlers.
Huh.
Did it smell like rot and blood?
You got fur and magic, a little bit of blood, but not like the other thing.
I'm not sure if it's part of the hunt.
Well, we're also supposed to follow the light and not the voices. That thing wasn't talking and it looked golden. I don't know if that qualifies as light. But at least it wasn't talking.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't see why not. We might as well follow it. Staying here isn't going to change anything.
Yeah. Do we have any other choice? Any other things?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can follow that path. There are a few other ways out of the foliage, but that's the way that the deer walked. And as you pick up your pace a little bit, you do see just the tips of its antlers over a bush up ahead. And you can continue to follow it that way. The forest grows darker and more quiet. You recall all the things that Artagan said to you, and as you walk, all of that walking you've done today is starting to wear on you. I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
Oh, the walk-in.
No.
14.
19.
22.
7.
No.
Oh, the one was so close.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, the only person who failed is Alicia. You see from kind of the corner of your eye, I would say probably Ulrin and Hazel, you see her start to slump forward, and then she hits the ground, and she's asleep.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Elijah, are you
Asleep.
okay?
I poke her.
Poker.
You guys are just like shaking her and slapping her awake. Okay.
No, I poke her.
Oh, you poke her? Just poke her.
Gently.
Eventually, after a few minutes of light friendship tapping on the heads and stuff, you get her to slowly open her eyes.
What happened?
I
You fell
think you're
asleep.
tired.
That feels about right.
Should we rest? Or
Empty wrap.
I mean, I can throw her on my shoulder and we can just keep going.
No.
But
I don't.
Alicia, I need you to make an Arcana check for me.
I mean, this place isn't really safe.
Yeah, I don't trust my dice at the moment. 12.
Okay. What happened to you was not natural.
It's not a natural sleep, so I don't think rest will help us with this.
Yeah, and you didn't lose any hit points, you didn't lose any spells. You fell victim to something.
So, wait, no. So maybe if you carry me and we get closer, that might help, but I don't think rest is gonna work.
Okay. So, Neuraxis, are you taking her?
Mom, turn that
If she
down.
doesn't feel
That was really
like,
loud.
if she says she's not tired, then I'll let her walk. But
Okay.
if she seems to be flagging again, I'll just
That went
chuck her
really
over my
loud,
shoulder.
Okay. So you guys continue to walk. You do catch sight of the deer every now and then. And as you move forward, the forest grows even more darker. And it's now full night. And only the occasional blue and green lights bob near you on this trail. And eventually you come to a canyon.
Ooh.
And there seems to be no way across. There are flowers that are lit up with almost a bioluminescence. There are more bobbing green and blue lights. And when you look over the edge, it's a bottomless pit.
Uh-huh.
Do we see where the deer was going?
The deer eventually reappears on the other side.
Damn it.
And you hear a voice in your head, all of you. Will you join us?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Oh, you can only cross if you join us.
Nope. I walk back from the edge.
How about you come over?
I don't know half of them.
Why would I believe a deer?
I know of the sash. I know of Silvanus.
We'll get that information in another way. Thank you.
It paws the ground again, and it says, "The Lord of the Hunt always wants more hunters, more hunted. But sometimes the hunters, or the hunted, become the hunters. You do not have to play his rules."
Yeah, we can play mine.
It's
I
just,
prefer different prey.
it's just waiting on the edge.
I won't bend the knee to a tyrant from this world or any other.
Can you tell us what you know without us going over there?
I wasn't always like this. He took me. And then
Who took you?
The Lord of the Hunt.
So now you work for him?
I do his bidding.
How does he take people exactly?
Most of the time, people get caught in the hunt by accident. Sometimes he takes lesser Fey. I think I was a lesser Fey. I don't remember.
And now you're stuck with him.
You do not get out of his service unless you die.
And what if we kill him?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, it doesn't sound like a lord to me. A lord takes service and gives something in return.
He's no lord, he's a hunter.
He's the Lord of the Hunt. Both.
Yeah, I guess this can. Fair point.
There's a long moment where the deer seems to be looking at all of you very closely. And you see something shift into focus across the canyon. That is all I can do. My deer disappeared. Wait, come back. There it is.
Where do you intend to lead us?
Ooh, pretty bridge.
To him. Well, to the negotiation.
Why can't he come to us?
I don't think that's how the hunt works. It goes where he goes, and where he goes...
That's how we work.
Okay. It paws at the ground again. It's a little agitated now, and it says, "My job was to get you here."
Well, you got us here. We've come our way, he needs to come his way.
I cannot tell him that. I cannot convince him of that.
He'll come for us sooner or later if he wants an interesting hunt.
Yeah.
The deer paws at the ground again and bolts back into the forest and disappears. What do you guys want to do?
Apparently, we're having fireflies.
Yeah, we've just noticed.
But like, does
I
our
thought
characters?
that I was tripping really hard.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
But
are
like,
they
it-
okay? Are they actually placed in this way?
That's how the map was. So
Okay, so
yeah.
it wasn't.
So it's
putting
not
them in that
intentional.
formation.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Brilliant.
because yeah, it was like follow
We're
the
seeing
lights.
too much into
That
it.
way.
Let's
Yeah.
go down this way, okay?
No, I say we should wait. Like,
Hmm.
if he
I-
wants to hunt or invite us in this bad, he'll come.
So, just as a question, this like second layer here, is that not actually there? Is it an immediate drop off at this edge, or is it like layers getting lower and then the big drops in the middle?
There is an immediate drop off here down to a cliff about 10 feet down, and then it's another cliff, and then just darkness.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a shelf there, but past what's there.
Yeah, and
No
it's
idea.
10 feet down.
Yeah, just thinking from
Oh,
that
dear.
ridge to that big light that I'm guessing is attached to something stable is 60 feet. So if we don't trust the bridge, we just chuck the rope of climbing there and tell it to not, and then go across. If you don't
Sounds
trust the
about right.
bridge.
Go across a rope. What?
I'm gonna poke the bridge.
You're gonna
I am
poke it?
standing on the bridge at the moment,
Oh.
so I think it's
Yeah.
solid.
I mean, it's definitely, yeah, Torkel, it's
Yeah,
wood.
you are.
It's, yeah.
I have a
and-
feeling the bridge
It's
is
a real
okay.
bridge.
Yeah, he wants us to come to him, so.
Maybe the bridge was always there and it was.
That's fair
Oh, is
enough.
it-
We'll just, if
yeah.
we didn't trust it, then there is an alternative.
Is the lantern still lit, by the way?
You came home.
Yeah, 6 hours.
Okay.
And it hasn't picked up anything.
Okay.
I just don't trust the Feywild with all the weird things that have happened so far.
Yeah.
Sure. Wait, no. I've just solved my problem. Can I just tie the rope of climbing to Alicia and tell her to walk across the bridge? Because if it falls out, if it falls out, I am definitely strong enough to hold
What?
the rope and heavy enough to hold the rope.
I don't think we should cross the bridge at all.
I'm up for it.
That's up to you guys.
Just
Alicia
that seems like the
If you
Like,
tie the rope there, she'll start walking.
And you're gonna have to look
Yeah.
after them.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Owen will give me the rope, I'll tie it to Alicia and be like, "I'm sorry, but you're the lightest. This just seems like the best way with all the weirdness going on."
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So rope goes on. Alicia starts across the bridge. You hear her footfalls against the wood.
While I'm walking, can I just look around me
yeah.
and see if I see anything? Like make a perception check or something?
Yeah, perception check.
Or investigation? Or
No, perception check.
I love the little purple arrow
11.
rope.
What is it?
11.
11.
11.
You
So
see
no.
more lights up ahead, but no creatures, no eyes in the bushes. She makes her way
There are
across the bridge.
I shout back, there are lights up ahead. Follow the lights.
That is the length of the rope, so I would have to
I
let
can-
go to let you step off the end.
Yeah.
But
Or
you
you-
didn't fall through.
Or if you guys want to go walk over too.
I'm gonna start walking across.
Okay.
Me too.
Oh, fine.
I mean,
Turtle can be very headstrong, but if
Like,
everyone's
as-
going, he's not gonna be staying alone behind it.
as I'm walking, I'll like wrap the rope in as I head
Okay.
towards Alicia until I can untie it when I catch her.
Yeah, you guys make your way across the bridge. You hear your footfalls. You're on the other side of the canyon.
I guess we follow the lights, not those lights.
Ah! It's driving me mad.
Sorry. See,
all
you guys point stuff out that I didn't even realize. I'm like, oh fuck.
Too much tea, I guess.
It's making you see things.
Oh man, the Feywild stuff. Whew.
Yeah. There's a path forward, more lights. What do you guys want to do?
I'll make my way towards the lights.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we follow the lights.
All right. So you guys start to head that way. You're being careful. You're keeping an eye out. You know, looking for the deer, looking for enemies, anything that catches your attention. You're not seeing anything.
My gun
Can
is
also
back out.
see
Okay.
on the ground whether there are any tracks on the ground.
Make a survival check.
Okay, that was a 5, but I have a Hunter's Bane advantage on survival checks to track Fey fiends and undead.
Woo! Okay, advantage.
And while tracking, you cannot be surprised by such a creature, but track only one creature at a
Oh
time.
wow. Okay.
Alright, that's a 6, so, but my survival is 5, so 11.
Okay.
Still not
You
great.
do see the deer tracks, and you do see paw prints. Older.
Okay.
Also going off into the brush, not down the path.
Okay.
The path is ahead of you, and as you do start to make your way, I'm assuming that's what's happening. You guys are making your way carefully
Yeah.
Yeah.
down the path. This starts to lead into more jungle. So heavier vines, brighter greens and reds and oranges, really vibrant vegetation. And then the path takes on a more brutal appearance as totems begin to appear. And
Oh,
there are
boy.
totems decorated with skulls and bits of metal and paint that looks quite a bit like blood. And overhead is the largest full moon you've ever seen.
Oh no.
Hmm.
The Deer Guardian appears before you out from around this column and comes out to see all of you, and you hear in your head again, "Thank you for coming." And it disappears back around the column.
As I see the full moon up ahead, I start to get slightly itchy, like I subconsciously start to like scratch my skin a bit, and like I look a bit more antsy.
Okay. You guys see Hazel kind of twitch a little bit. Atop the pillar in the middle there is a humongous antlered skull. And as you appear in front of it, its eyes light up with red fire.
Oh boy.
And creatures start to come out of the brush.
Like animals?
Like wolves. But they don't look quite right. Their skin is not fully there. Some of their fur is sloughed away. Their eyes glow green and red. And they're bigger than a typical wolf. The light under their skin seems to come from their very bones, and they growl as you approach, but they don't make a move toward you.
I keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a moment where the skull seems to hover over the pillar, and you hear a voice. It emanates from that skull, and as you hear it, your ears begin to ring a little bit. It's such a low, booming voice. "I see my Ashak has brought fresh meat for the hunt. Or are you to be hunters and join my faithful?"
No thanks.
Oh, good. The child
Oh,
speaks.
shit, this one's...
I'm already beholden to a different pack of hunters.
And I already serve someone.
I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it magic?
Oh, it's fucking magic, dude.
Fucking
Good,
magic.
because I have advantage.
Okay.
Being a gnome.
Yeah.
Which I needed, because then I get a natural 20.
This one's
13.
Hmm. Yeah, 13, me too.
21.
Not 20.
10.
Ugh.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh.
Failure. Neuraxis, Torkel, and Hazel.
Oh.
Oh no!
You are affected with a strange sensation that kind of slithers down your spine. You now have a disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws that use intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Holy shit.
So mark that down.
Oh no, that's really bad for me.
Oh
You don't know how permanent this is. Disadvantage
So-
on ability checks and saves that use intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And you gain the following flaw. I can't tell what's real anymore.
Holy
no!
shit.
Oh no!
That is really dangerous.
Yes!
The skull, you hear that voice cackle again, and its jaw kind of clacks loosely. And it says, "If you want to be the hunted, I'll give you a fair start. I prefer prey that isn't easily downed. So take your boon. Take your boon, but each boon comes with a price." And out of the pillar, a little drawer slides open. And you see glimmering a bunch of look like to be amulets.
Mm-hmm. Well, since I don't know what's real anymore, I'm gonna ignore that. And I'm gonna look rather confused. Shake my head, look at the floating skull, and be like, how about you be the prey for a change?
It doesn't say anything.
Torkel is just an illusion. It's just a stupid trick. It's not a real skull.
What are you talking about, Anaxis?
I'm gonna shoot at the skull just to see if it's real.
Okay. Make an attack.
Because why not? I like shooting at things. Boink. It's a 14. I mean, it's a big skull, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that hits. Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
You pull out your gun and square up and take aim at the skull, and you hear the sound of the gunshot, and then you see a little piece of the bone kind of shoot off. It's like ding, and it shoots off into the woods. The wolf-like creatures are growling a little bit more, but they haven't moved. And then you hear again that voice go,
Oh, look, it's Diana.
Feisty, I like it.
I don't know if the voice is real, but the skull seems real.
Wait, you heard it too?
We all hear it.
Oh, might be real then.
Is the
Maybe.
moon still there?
Yep.
The moon real?
The moon is real, Hazel, and I put my hand on her shoulder.
Okay. The drawer is still slid out of the pillar.
Can I see what's in? Yeah, they said amulets. Can I see what kind of amulets? Or?
Yeah, they are amulets. And as you approach, the skull will tell you, this voice will tell you what each one of them does. It's a boon, but boons come with prices. So there are 6 of them. The one with a red core gives you 2 superior healing potions on a belt per party member, but you lose 1d8 worth of hit points permanently until you leave the hunt. The green core adds 2 to your AC, but you take a -2 on all attack rolls. The blue core adds +3 to ability checks and saving throws. However, all of your damage die are reduced by 1 type, so D12s to D10s, D10s to D8s, and so forth. The yellow core adds 20 hit points to you. You get a point of exhaustion immediately after the hunt. The purple core gives you advantage on initiative rolls and all attacks, but all damage from weapons and 1st and 2nd level spells are halved, so cut in half. And the black core, you add 10 feet to your movement during battle. Any other movement is restricted to the dash action, and you cannot dash while fighting. And I'll put these in the chat for you guys.
And we have to take them. Is that a thing? I
just-
asked the skull.
You don't have to take anything, but I recommend it, of course.
Damn straight, we don't have to.
Did I see the orange turtle shot do any damage? Do anything with the skull, or was it just?
I mean,
It
yeah.
bounced stuff, right?
No, it took a chunk out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it can do something, but I don't know how. What do you guys think?
I think we leave this junk right where it is, assuming it's even real boons.
Yeah, honestly, I'm with Torkel on that one. I don't like doing something on his terms.
I mean, the only one I'd even consider is the green one, and that's to stop Alicia getting,
I mean, let's make them one thing clear. We are not prey. We are hunters, but we hunt on our own, not with these things.
You don't want to join the wild hunt.
We've got a hunt of our own.
Oh, exciting. Even more practiced, accomplished prey. Oh, this is wonderful.
I told you, we are not prey.
Everyone's prey if you're not part of the hunt.
How do we know you're even a worthy hunters yourselves?
I am Ali Damara. I am the Lord of the Hunt. I am the son of Silvanus, and I will have you.
Your dad's an old dead tree.
I cast Shatter on the skull.
Okay.
Ooh.
Just blowing up.
Here. And yeah, what was the thing? Any matter made of a creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw.
It's a skull.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
So go ahead and roll damage for that.
We'll just roll it in the 15 thunder damage.
Yeah, the skull obliterates.
Yeah.
And as it does so, you see the bone shards hit a couple of the wolves, and they kind of growl and whimper, and they shriek back a little bit. And hold on just a second. Well, in that case, and you hear the sound of a hunting horn go up. And he says, "Let the hunt begin!" And that's where we're going to end.
Oh.
Oh dear.